Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Monday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Bob, we made it here, buddy. It is week 0 of the college football season. What's going on, man? Good to talk to you.
Oh, yeah, excited, Beam. Wrapping up training camp, starting school this week for the Buckeyes. They got a lot of things going on. Get the NFL preseason getting ready to start winding down here as we're approaching Labor Day weekend. So we're almost right into the thick of it, sir.
Ooh, yes, we are. Yes, we are. How was your weekend, man? All right?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Trying to even think back to Friday of what all happened and where we were at and what's going on.
It's just so power-packed is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was pretty robust. It was a good time, though. We, the little scrimmage for the boys on Saturday morning. Went over to Ohio State scrimmage. Helped my one of my friends move in his daughter over on campus. They had that going on this weekend. Yeah, moving into the sorority house. I forgot I had dinner with AJ and Laura on Friday night. So
nice.
that was fun and eventful as well over at Hyde Park. So yeah, it was a good weekend. I watched a couple of movies. I saw The Watchers, the M. Night Shyamalan deal. Have you seen that?
No, haven't seen that.
It's okay.
Twist ending at the end?
Yeah, but his twist endings, you kind of saw where it was going to be going, but then they just get weird now.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for him to reproduce. Everyone wants the Sixth Sense again, which is what I would like to see.
It's tough.
But it's really hard. But then I also watched Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, good. Did you like it?
I watched those back to back. I watched it till
double feature?
Yeah, I put it on 11:30 and watched it till 2:30 in the morning.
Did you enjoy it?
It was good.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was pretty wild.
Did you like who David Lindhagen was?
Oh, dude, Kevin Bacon. The best.
I thought when we were talking about that on Friday, Sharky and I thought you may enjoy that.
It was good. It was very good. We watched Friday night, watched it outside at our neighbor's house. They got a little projector and blow-up screen.
Yeah.
And watched The Watchers, and then when I got back, I'm like, you know what? It was 11:45. I'm like, let me go to sleep. I wanted to watch this earlier tonight. I'm going to watch it right now.
Good.
If I don't watch it now, I'm never going to watch it. So I know I'll be up a little late, but it'll be fine.
I'm glad you enjoyed that.
It was good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
It came out over a decade ago.
The son loves the babysitter. Babysitter loves Steve Carell. Dad at the end. Where's that pervert at? They're in the back.
Yeah,
that backyard scene at the end of the movie is one of the. I think it's one of the best scenes. And
Gosling's dating his daughter.
Yeah, it's terrific. It's terrific. Kevin Bacon's dating his wife.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice little twists in that.
Yeah, it's
pretty entertaining.
It's fun, man. I'm glad you had a good weekend. Did too. Pretty calm, pretty quiet. Nothing really crazy. Hung out with a bunch of family on Saturday, and then really just spent yesterday trying to get prepared for what's going to be a busy week here. First full week of back to school for all the kids out there. So that's pretty good. Mare's good. Willie's good. Theo's good. Everybody's good in our house. Foot is healing nicely, so that's solid. Still hurting a little bit, but I think we're doing all right.
How's it taste?
Disgusting. Tastes disgusting.
Boiled, poached?
Poached foot for your Monday evening cuisine. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Buckeyes have their captains. They have their Block O recipient. We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment. Bill Bender, the Sporting News. They're going to drop 1 through 134 today over on the Sporting News.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
That's right. So
we're going to work that would take to do.
We're going to ask Bill Bender to rank his teams 1 through 134 coming up here at 6:35. 7:35, we'll head out to Buckeye camp. Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program. Final non-game week of the season for the Buckeyes. So that's crazy to think about because we are in week 0 in college football. And then at 8:35, Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program, break everything down from a national perspective with us. Before we get into anything else today, it is Monday, the 19th day of August, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bob, what do you got lined up for us on this big Monday, buddy?
Well, it is Monday, August 19th, the 232nd day of the year, 134 remaining. In this 2024, the state's 1692, 5 people, 4 men and a woman, are executed in Salem, Maine for witchcraft.
Nice.
The beginning of the Salem witchcraft trials was there. 1782, the last major battle of the American Revolution, called the Battle of Blue Licks, happened 10 months. This is how wild things are now as you think about this. This happened 10 months after Cornwallis surrendered to Yorktown.
Wow.
So after kind of the official ending of the war, obviously still some things going on. 1848, the New York Herald breaks news in the East that gold was found in California.
Starting the gold rush.
1848, that was leading to the 49ers and the gold rush. Happening that next year. 1921, Ty Cobb is the fourth player with 3,000 hits.
Ooh.
It's amazing there was already 4 players with 3,000 hits in 1921.
Yeah.
1934, Dayton holds the first All-American Soapbox Derby. Beam, do you know anybody that did the Soapbox Derby back then?
I had a couple of friends that did it.
One of my good buddies did it. There's a track in Lancaster, and then they would go up to now this.
It's like it's a Boy Scout thing right now.
I don't know, but I know
Okay.
they get on the track, you build the cars, and
Yeah.
they have the championships up in Akron.
Okay.
They've been there for at least probably the last 30 years since I was a kid, maybe longer. 1944, the French rise up against the Germans in Paris with help of the Allies, helping to turn the tide of the war a little bit. 1991, the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Gorbachev, Mikhail that would be, is placed under house arrest while visiting a holiday in the Ukraine down in the Crimea.
Okay.
They decided to detain him, Beam, and say, we want some of our freedom. You're going to have to hang out here for a while.
Yep.
2004, Google IPOs on the NASDAQ. And then in 2010, Operation Freedom ends in Iraq.
From this desk, 7.5 years ago, President Bush announced the beginning of military operations in Iraq. A war to disarm a state became a fight against an insurgency. Thousands of Americans gave their lives. Tens of thousands have been wounded. At every turn, America's men and women in uniform have served with courage and resolve. The Americans who have served in Iraq completed every mission they were given. They defeated a regime that had terrorized its people. Tonight, I am announcing that the American combat mission in Iraq has ended. Operation Iraqi Freedom is over, and the Iraqi people now have lead responsibility for the security of their country.
Some birthdays. Born on this day, 1871. One of the Dayton Flyers, Beam. Orville Wright, first in flight. 1940, John Nash, saying, Johnny Nash, I can see clearly now.
The rain has gone.
The rain is gone. Turning 80, Jack Canfield, the writer of all of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been
Tons.
millions, hundreds of millions, I think, of them sold through the years. I didn't realize he was 80 years old. Jonathan Frakes of Star Trek, Next Generation, also Beyond Belief host, turning 72. Ned Yost, former manager of the Royals, World Series champion, turning 69. Morton Anderson, 25 seasons as an NFL kicker. Long time, Beam, turning 64 years young today. John Stamos, handsome man, turning 61.
It was the last dinner, and you never think this is the last time I'm going to see my best friend. But it was everything that I wanted Bob to be at that moment. You know, he was calm, he listened, and he didn't talk about himself that much. And believe me, I was just as much a pain in the ass as he was. And you're always in a hurry. You're always in a thing. We were with our wives, and we were both. They were talking about something, and we were like, how do two saps like us get lucky enough to have these two beautiful inside and out women? I was thinking, we gotta go and everything. And then he said, well, let's have cake. Let's order the cake, because we were doing the cake. And I was like, yeah, well, dessert and some coffee. And, I realized, like, when you're with someone that you love, that you care about, slow down. Take it easy.
John Stamos, last time he had dinner with his former Full House co-star Bob Saget. Kevin Dillon, star of Entourage, turning 58.
I've been working steady for the last 12 years, minus the last 3.
Well, I'll fight for you. But I can't lie, it's not going to be easy to get you back in the game.
Back in the game. I am the f***ing game, pal. Come on, let's go. Come on. Back.
He's one of the great characters of any TV show.
Johnny Drama.
Yeah, I love him. I watched that during COVID. It's
You'd never
terrific.
seen it before?
No, I hadn't.
It was pretty good, wasn't it?
It's great.
The two characters that make it are him and Ari Gold.
Yeah. Oh, Ari's terrific too.
I mean, him and Lloyd.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
oh, it's so good. Oh, gosh.
I am the game.
Yeah.
Freedom!
Oh, when he drives all the way out to Grand Canyon.
He's terrific.
Oh, good one there. Well done on that, Shark. Speaking of David Linderhoff and Kira Sedgwick, his actual wife, Kevin Bacon's that is, turning 58 as well. Same birthday as Kevin Dillon. Leanne Womack turning 58 as well, or 57 today. Nate Dogg, R.I.P.
Yeah, gone too soon.
Born on this date, 1969. Born the same day as Matthew Perry, R.I.P. last year as well. This is him from Saturday Night Live.
Excuse me, is this Sarcasm 101?
No, it's Lamaze class from Men Named Arthur.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm kidding. It is Sarcasm 101. Be more gullible. Take any seat you want.
Thanks.
Except that one. I'm kidding. Sit down.
It's really hard to tell.
Thank you. Okay, last week's assignment was how you would describe the food in England. Tom.
Boiling everything is a really super smart way to cook everything.
Well done. And just so you know, I don't like it when you say things. See, I see your mouth moving and I hear all these sounds, but it's just like coming out like, woo!
You people are cruel.
You people are cruel. That wasn't sarcasm. I just enjoyed doing that.
You're not very nice.
No. Try saying it, could you be any meaner?
Could you be any meaner? That's so good. That is a little crossover there with his Chandler Bing character. Matthew Perry, lost him last year. One of the funny guys you'll ever meet. Terrific. Kirk Cousins, you like that? Turning 36 years young today. And then passings Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. Passed away on this date, 14 AD, being the Wayback Machine. Some holidays observances is Coco Chanel Day, International Bow Day, National Aviation Day, Orville Wright's birthday, so it should be National Hot and Spicy Food Day, National Root Beer Float Day, National Sandcastle and Sculpture Day, Soft Ice Cream Day, Potato Day, how about that? World Humanitarian Day, World Orangutan Day. I found out from a friend of mine, they put pacemakers in the bonobos and gorillas and stuff up at the zoo.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Just a little primate talk got me thinking about that.
Okay.
And World Photography Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, August 19th, the 232nd day of the year. 134 days remaining in this 2024.
Good job on that, Bob, as always. They don't show that on the graphics at the zoo, that they put the pacemakers in them.
Yeah. I was like, well, they're as close to people as you're getting. I mean,
it's our closest living cousin.
Yeah. This guy was telling me the OSU Vet Hospital, they put pacemaker in a dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Is his name Theo?
No, it wasn't Theo. Probably a little older, but they put he's like, yeah, you provide them, we give them to the zoo. They put them in the gorillas and the bonobos.
Wow.
Or bonobos, whatever. Yeah. That's pretty, blew my mind. I mean, I thought we were putting them in a dog.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, put them in there.
Modern medicine. It's crazy. Buckeyes have their captain's Block O recipient. We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching a couple crashes. 161 eastbound just beyond Hamilton Road out in New Albany. Expect some lane closures over there because of a crash. Also in the downtown area, we're watching the ramp from 70 eastbound to 71 northbound shut down because of a crash as well. You can use 315 northbound to 670 eastbound to get back to those northbound lanes of I-71. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors, voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken, but when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because selling it yourself can be, well, you know.
Okay, I'll give you half now. And? No, and just half.
What? Avoid the hassle. Come to We Buy Any Car instead. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Yeah, I can't do half. I could probably bump it up to like 50%. Just go. Okay.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com. This is Attorney Robert Sherver, and I want you to remember one thing. We're the legal army that goes to war for you. Call us now at 877-WAR-FOR-YOU. It's time to know your rights and get the results you deserve. WarForYou.com.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to go back to school? With Giant Eagle and Market District, of course. From lunchbox favorites to fun after-school snacks, shop deals for school days and save on thousands of items throughout the store. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Rothman and Ice.
This is not the year to decide whether Russell Wilson can get you to the playoffs, only to lose. This is the year to figure out whether you have a future at quarterback.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
It's a great feeling doing business means we're one of the highest rated nationally in customer service. We have one of the largest selections of Hondas, and we make service simple with car convenience and mobile service, all while serving Central Ohio for over 30 years. John Hinderer Honda, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererHonda.com. Open Sundays.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
Trust. Not everyone deserves it. Not everyone should have it. It needs to be earned. Your trust. And when it comes to accurate information about Ohio's safe and secure elections, where should you turn? VoteOhio.gov. VoteOhio.gov is the source for providing you with the facts and real information about elections. So no matter where you are, what you do, or who you choose, get the real facts about Ohio's elections. VoteOhio.gov, your trusted elections source. Sponsored by the Ohio Secretary of State, Frank LaRose.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are a little soggy for some spots this morning. A few showers in the metro. Those move out as we head through the morning hours and into the early afternoon. Lots of sunshine to end the day. Temperatures in the 70s. Columbus topping out at 77. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment, at 6:35, Bill Bender of the Sporting News. He's going to join the program. Sporting News today is going to release rankings from 1 to 134 a little bit later on today. Imagine the time spent on that.
Oh, yeah, and they're putting it in there. I always like talking to Bill. It's like, who did you see that you thought was underrated? Because he's putting it together, and like you start ranking them, and you're like, well, this team might be X. And then all of a sudden you put together the rankings, like, well, they're like 15 spots behind where I thought they would be. As you start looking at other teams, it's you cluster them up, and you're like, well, better or worse, and you have to keep moving teams up and down. And it'll be interesting to kind of see Bill's thoughts on that and everything that he's got coming out.
Yeah, man, for sure. Are you excited for week 0 in college football?
I mean, as a traditional. To pull that up as far as what the games are.
There's not many games. So noon on Saturday in week 0, Florida State and Georgia Tech playing in Dublin. So that's the season opener. Not Dublin, Ohio, Dublin, Ireland.
That's at noon?
Is where they're going to be playing at. That is a noon start for that.
Make that like a 5 o'clock start and have it at 9 over there or 10?
Well, that would be 5 start for them is noon. So like a 3 o'clock game would be 10.
Are they 7 hours up?
5. They're 5 ahead. So they are starting at 5 over there.
No, I'd rather them start at 5 here and 10 over there.
Oh, 10 p.m. primetime game for them.
Yeah, they can play late. I mean, the people that are watching the game are in America.
Yeah, you're right.
No one's watching that game over there.
Unless you're in the stadium and going to that. So that's a noon start. You get Montana State, New Mexico at 4 o'clock. SMU at Nevada at 8. That one's got a little bit of pop to it. We'll see what SMU has got this season. Nevada, usually a decently tough test. And then Delaware State at Hawaii kicking off at 11:59 p.m. Mm-hmm. Love that one. Love that. So those are your only 4 games for week 0. But as a college football sicko, I mean, I will be watching the Florida State Georgia Tech game. I won't have both eyes on it, like living and dying on every single play, but it will be on the screen when that bad boy kicks off.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to do.
No.
Especially if it's, poor weather, you're going to be inside. If you're outside, maybe you're at the pool enjoying kind of the last couple of weeks of summer here before you get Labor Day weekend. But I get it. I understand it. And I just wish Florida State, Georgia Tech, Florida State, could you give me someone else that's a more compelling matchup?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I like Florida State being there. And Notre Dame's gone over there and played a little bit. I don't know who else I'd rather have it be. Just Georgia Tech's not going to be very good.
No.
So I'd rather have a competitive game that I'm going to watch with 2 teams that have aspirations of success and not the
aspirations of glory.
Yeah, illusions of grandeur. I don't know. I mean, Georgia Tech, they'll be okay this year, but they're not going to be in the realm where we think Florida State could be, which is challenging for the ACC and making the playoffs.
Absolutely, man. So Buckeyes over the weekend, captains were named. You have 4 of them. Now, last year you only had 3, so it is a jump in one. Last year, Bob, you had, let's see here, who did you have last year? You had Tommy, you had Cade, and I want to say, and Xavier Johnson.
Yeah.
Xavier Johnson. Those were your 3 captains. And then your Block O winner from last year was Xavier Johnson. Now, I thought this was great. I mean, each coach has kind of had their own tradition that they start. Urban started the black stripe, amongst other things. Ryan started this when the NCAA allowed players to wear number 0 back in 2020. So you get the Block O award, which exemplifies, in honor of Bill Willis, Bob. And they announced over the weekend that Cody Simon was actually the Block O winner. So he's the Block O recipient, and he is a captain, which is awesome to hear from him. He's a terrific young man, Bob. He joins Thayer Munford, Cam Babb, and Xavier Johnson as players to receive the Block O recipient, which is terrific. And then your other captains for this year, and I don't think there's any surprise on this list, Jack Sawyer, Ohio native, right down the street in Pickerington, named a captain. You had Emeka Egbuka named as a captain, and then Travion Henderson. So those are your 4 Buckeye captains heading into the season. That would be Cody Simon, Jack Sawyer, Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson. Those are your 4 guys.
Yeah, and as it was coming out, I was over there after practice. They did a scrimmage on Saturday in the stadium, and a lot of situational elements, and then afterwards Ryan calls them up and brings everybody up there. And they're announcing the captains, and I'm trying to think how they announced it. Who was first? Jack was last. And I was thinking to myself, this has to be a lineman because they had announced 2 offensive skill guys and then Cody as well. And I'm thinking, okay, you're going to have probably a defensive player at that point, probably a lineman. That's just how it usually shakes out, folks. Like the representation, kind of someone from each group, usually, semi-split between offense and defense, 2 and 2. And you're going to get kind of guys from all the position groups. And what you saw there was reflective. And Trey has come as far as anybody I know in the last 2 years. Mecca is a great leader. He's always been that guy. Cody Simon is like a testament to enduring at Ohio State.
Perseverance, right?
Perseverance. I say it in the best way possible. And he had, his quote, he came here, he had a lot of goals, and things don't always work out the way that you want. And, he had contemplated potentially just, leaving the program last year after the season. And, you've got a chance to get to know Cody. I was part of his visit when he came in, getting a chance to meet and have breakfast with him and his family. And it's like, he's unbelievable. His dad went to West Point, smart kid, conscientious kid, young man. And I was like, he'll be okay here. It's just going to be a function. I kept telling him, just showing up every day, showing up and keep working. And eventually everything that you want to do will come to fruition. It may take longer. It may not be on your time. But for all this stuff to happen for him is pretty special. And one of the things, like just explaining, because the Block O tradition is new. And so you talked about Bill Willis.
Yep.
He being the Block O, he wore 99 at Ohio State. And, it's after him. And, he was the first black player in the NFL, really, significant player starter from Ohio State. Paul Brown brought him up there after he coached here at Ohio State. In Cleveland, big deal. And it's a tremendous honor. And so pretty excited for Cody to be a part of that and to have that tradition kind of continue with a guy who I couldn't think of anyone better to potentially have that.
Yeah, and the team says that it embodies Willis's toughness, accountability, and the highest of character. I mean, look at the guys who have had it, here at Ohio State, Bob, and it's a pretty good group of guys, as I just gave you the names of those guys. Cam Babb, Thayer Munford, Jonathan Cooper, and then Xavier Johnson from last year. So, I mean, that's a pretty good list for Buckeyes to be donned that honor. But, yeah, you think about Cody's case in particular, right? Like Tommy here for a long time in that linebacker room. Great leader he was. Steele comes in, Bob. I mean, those guys kind of missing some games on an off-on basis last year.
Played both positions. Like I tell you, position flexibility, being smart, being able to do those things. Playing both inside linebacker positions. Cody was smart enough to do it. Started some games for Tommy, started some games for Steele.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be the man in the middle, like the captain, the guy, him and Lathan are going to coordinate that entire defense. And I was curious, I thought Lathan, there was a good chance he would be captain, but the reality is, you get to it, there's only so many guys. I mean, Urban used to have 8 captains, which I think is excessive. 4 is about the number. Occasionally 5, somewhere between 3 and 5, and it's kind of what your team looks at, and you can see usually there's a delineation in the voting.
Ryan Day said this, the great news, we got a great group of leaders. Just because you're not a captain doesn't mean you're not a leader. You're still a leader. Leadership is earned, and a lot of you guys have earned leadership. There are a lot of captains on this team. The players did a great job voting. So those are your 4. You're rolling into the season with Mech, Trey, and then Jack Sawyer, and then, of course, Cody Simon as your Block O recipient. Big congrats to those guys. Go watch their videos, too, that the Ohio State football social media team put out when they call their parents with their coaches. Those are great. Watch those over the weekend. Really, really solid stuff. Big congrats to those guys. Bill Bender, the Sporting News. He's going to join the program. He will rank team 1 through 134. All of that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are still watching a ramp closure in the downtown area. 70 eastbound to I-71 northbound still shut down this morning because of a crash. You'll have to use 315 northbound to 670 eastbound to get back to 71. Also watching lane closures out in the New Albany area. 161 eastbound just beyond Hamilton Road. Expect delays over there because of a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. We save our customers tons of money and frustration by simply inspecting their sewer, water, and drain lines with our high-tech cameras before there's a problem. Check us out at CarpenterColumbus.com. That's CarpenterColumbus.com.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee, then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. All for $6, all just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Common
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Back to school time. Your kids probably have fancy friends. Isn't it about time you gave them a ride to be proud of? Actually, hell with the kids. Treat yourself to a new Lexus. Right now, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99% on ES, NX, and RX, as well as great lease payments. I've been a Germain customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
The Fan Tailgate is back at the Ozone on Lane.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Hollywood Casino, and TNT Equipment.
Admission is free. Join us for food, fun, and tipsy radio hosts. The Fan, Ohio's tailgating destination.
Jump on board now with the 20-pound Summer Slim Down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Drop 20 pounds before summer ends and cruise into fall with a new routine of better health. Do what I did and find your results with the solution for weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
Meet animals from around the world as you explore the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Whether you're fascinated by the towering elephant or playful sea lions, we have it all at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Visit columbuszoo.org to plan your visit today.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, you can choose from more hybrid and all-wheel drive vehicles than anyone else, including the best-selling RAV4. Now through September 3rd, choose 4.99 APR financing on a new 2024 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid with approved credit through TFS. Excludes RAV4 Prime, or you can get a great lease deal on RAV4. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
Here's Log here, little Monday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend of the Sporting News. He is Bill Bender. Bill, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. College football is here, week 0. How many eyeballs out of 2 are you going to have on that Florida State-Georgia Tech game coming up here in Dublin on Saturday?
Hey, it's exciting. It is happy week 0, and then SMU, Nevada later that night. The SMU, the long-awaited ACC debut, I suppose, for them. And it's going to be a fun season. We'll have a lot of content out this week to get everybody ready.
So looking at this week 0, sometimes there's bigger matchups than others. This one obviously going to be over in Dublin, Ireland. But I don't feel like Georgia Tech maybe has the steam to be able to make this an entertaining game. I kind of wish it would be another opponent. Am I wrong in my evaluation of this?
Well, they have an exciting quarterback. Haynes King led the ACC in touchdown passes last year, and they have a good running back. The thing with Georgia Tech last year that got them in trouble, they couldn't stop the run at all. They ranked 129th against the run. Florida State will probably do a lot of that before getting DJU on track in his debut. That's one thing people that haven't really followed the offseason are going to say. They're going to say, how many teams has DJ Uiagalelei played for? And the answer is 3.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about his journey, right? I mean, started out at Clemson. He was the next guy following in line from Trevor Lawrence, takes a little bit of a break, goes to Oregon State. They get kicked out of the Pac-12 or aren't able to join a conference, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, all right, back to the ACC I go with Florida State. So we got that game coming up here. That's noon on Saturday, Bill. That's a nice palate wetter for what is going to be hopefully an exciting season in college football. I know that you guys are doing something pretty awesome over at the Sporting News. You have ranked teams 1 through 134. How long did that take you and your team to accomplish?
Yeah, we got that done last week. That'll be part of our coverage this week. And it's fun to put together for me, because then you go all the way down to the group of 5. And I know there's been a lot of talk about the group of 5 in the last week with, the possibility of them meeting and discussing their future. I always love it when somebody will send me a message and you're so wrong about Florida International. And I'm like, come on, man. I always want to tweet back. I never do, but I always want to tweet back. You make a 1 to 134 and let me pick it apart, and we'll go from there. But it's all in good fun.
So what's the process, Bill, for doing that? Because like you said, everybody always has a complaint. And I'm like, well, for someone to be moved up, other teams have to move down, and it's a zero-sum game in that as you rank them and list them. Is there a process you get together with everybody? Do you kind of cluster them like we hear about the committee doing? Or is this a product where you just go through conference by conference, try to see who's better or worse, kind of lump them together? Like, how does that all work?
Well, yeah, and we'll do all the conferences. I take all the conference predictions across, because you want to rank them in order that way. You don't want to have like Northwestern ahead of Penn State somehow, and just to make sure you don't make that mistake. And then, I think we make the most changes, obviously, from week 0 or week 1 to week 2, because this is still a perception game. College football really is. One team we didn't have ranked in our top 25 that everybody else does, and I'm starting to rethink it myself, is Miami, because of you start to rethink it because you see that, quarterback, right? Defense looks pretty good. Receiving core looks pretty good. And then you see their schedule. That's another thing we're going to have out this week. And, Bobby, you and I have talked about is they only play one top 10 team. The schedule imbalance between the Big Ten and the SEC and the other 2 power conferences is pretty stark.
He is Bill Bender, the Sporting News, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. So if I'm putting down what you're saying, Bill, you are officially confirming at 6:38 on Monday, August 19th of 2024 that the U is back?
Don't pencil that all the way in. Just maybe like a real light pencil. And the thing is, they play Florida in that opener, and that's one of those big-time overreaction openers that will probably overreact to the loser. If it's Miami that loses that game, how could they? They're just a fluke. Why are we hyping them up? If Florida loses that game, will Billy Napier get fired? Talking about schedule imbalance, 8 ranked teams, 4 top 10 teams on Florida's schedule this year. I just don't know how you navigate through that. Ohio State schedule, for example, that's about normal for a Big Ten team. It's a little harder than usual. Florida's is impossible.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, we've talked about it on the show a lot here. It would be a miracle if Billy Napier keeps his job. And it's a fascinating program, right? Because ever since Urban left, I mean, they have been spinning through coaches. You kind of juxtapose that to Ohio State here, Bill, and when the AP rankings came out for the first time in the preseason last week, I mean, it's 36 straight years that Ohio State has been ranked in the preseason, going all the way back to 1988. I mean, the dip in college football is something that no program is immune to, but I feel like Ohio State, it just that dip has never occurred here in Columbus.
They're the most consistent program in the country, especially in the 21st century. When you look at just every year they're in the national championship hunt. Every year, the playoff appearances. Being in the New Year's Day 6 every year was just ridiculous. That's hard to do. So, yeah, and I think that consistency is going to matter. I mean, programs like Ohio State and, I guess the SEC champion, whether it's Alabama or Georgia, they're going to feel a little bit in this 12-team playoff era like I've said it 100 times, like kind of like North Carolina and Kansas in March Madness, where you're always going to see them at that point.
Yeah, it's incredibly impressive with what they have been able to do. Are there any surprises, Bill, when you were putting this together? You said Miami was lower than maybe you thought. Is there anybody that you sort of look at as maybe higher than you thought that, you begin to rank? You're like, okay, you put them there, and maybe you wouldn't have done that or picked that, before you started the whole process?
Well, a couple teams that are just outside the top 25 that it'll be really interesting to see how they do early. West Virginia, which just makes me think that Penn State opener is really going to be tricky. Going down and playing Garrett Green. If it was later in the day, I think it'd even be more difficult because you would have those West Virginia fans even more time to get ready, so to speak. And they can get ready pretty fast. I think Nebraska was the other one in the Big Ten that I'm really curious to see what they do with their schedule. Their schedule's pretty easy, fast start. Will Dylan Raiola be the truth? I mean, it is entirely possible if they beat Colorado that they could be unbeaten when they come to Ohio Stadium in October. And I remember what happened the last time a ranked Nebraska team came into Ohio Stadium. It didn't end well for them. J.T. Barrett went off. I was at that game. But the hype around them, if you think the hype around Miami would be there, the hype around Nebraska would be off the charts if they were 7-0 going into Ohio Stadium.
Is Dylan Raiola going to be the starting quarterback? I haven't seen an announcement from Matt Rule. I know that's a pretty big competition they got going on in Lincoln.
Well, I think even if he doesn't, we're going to see a lot of him early. I just don't think you can do that with a 5-star quarterback. You go back to Ohio State had guys like Braxton Miller and Terrell Pryor. It was just so hard. You could say it was a competition. It was just so hard to keep them off the field. And I think that's going to be the case with him and all the pressure that comes with that. That said, I mean, he is a freshman and he'll have to show that he's ready. But, Matt Rule, for all the things he's done, he's created excitement around them. At the same time, this is a program that hasn't been to a bowl game since 2016.
And they've lost a ton of one-possession games, too, over the years. A lot with Scott Frost, maybe a little bit less last year in Matt Rule's initial year, but it's been a program that has been in tight games, and they've just found ways to lose way more times than they found to win. Bill, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us this morning. Excited to shoot some mean messages to you in your inbox for getting teams 1 through 134 wrong, all right?
I'm looking forward to it, too. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.
You too. There he goes. Our good friend of the Sporting News, Bill Bender, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. One first-round rookie quarterback in the NFL has already showed enough in the preseason. He doesn't need to take any more reps in preseason games. That and quick hitters next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still watching a ramp closure downtown. 70 eastbound to 71 northbound is closed because of a crash. You can use 315 northbound to 670 eastbound to get back in those northbound lanes of I-71. We're also still watching a crash on 161. This is in the eastbound lanes just beyond Hamilton Road. We've got delays out in the New Albany area heading eastbound. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. If you're ready to tackle any adventure, check out these unbeatable offers from Germain Toyota. Get behind the wheel of a rugged Toyota Tundra with 0% financing for 60 months. Yeah, that's right, 0%. Or if you're looking for something a bit more compact but just as awesome, lease the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for just $329 a month for 36 months. These deals are rolling out so fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a floor. No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex
Pros.
The pros who knows know electrical work, too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros. And if you liked us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're gonna love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
We don't talk politics on the Fan. It's divisive, fear-stoking, and negative. That's what our social media is for. Or your crazy uncle's house, or the grocery store, or you get my point. The Fan, Ohio's politics-free destination.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
It's Wrangler season out there. T-shirt days, denim jacket nights. A pair of broken-in jeans you could live in. Open roads, endless horizons, no destinations. This is when adventure starts calling. And you need to be ready in jeans that are made for the unpredictable journey that we call life. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are a little soggy this morning. A couple isolated showers out there. We're going to clear those out and give way to some sunshine by midday with temperatures climbing quickly. Your high 77 today. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
We're here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them online at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky?
Yes, sir.
3 down in the middle of our fourth, 56.5 to go.
Very good, Beam. I love Mondays. Oh, my gosh. So good to see you guys again.
It's great to see your smiling face this morning.
Long weekend without you. 6 quarterbacks were taken in the first round of the NFL draft this year. 4 of them, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and Bo Nix, are getting plenty of preseason action. Another, J.J. McCarthy, is out for the season. And Michael Penix Jr. already knows he's going to be the backup for Kirk Cousins, but Penix didn't play this past weekend and won't play this weekend in the preseason finale.
What?
Kind of head-scratching, but Beamer coach Raheem Morris said Penix showed enough in week 1 that they don't have to play him in the preseason.
Seems
that they're trying to get him ready for the future. Like,
right? Doesn't that seem weird?
The future. Wait for the future. Why wouldn't you play him if he gets hurt and he's not going to play? Like,
doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins is your guy.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make it. It didn't make any sense to me when I heard it this weekend. It doesn't make sense to me when you said it, Shark. It doesn't make sense when I'm thinking about it. If the plan, which all indications would be that Michael Penix is going to be the quarterback of the future down in Atlanta. You wouldn't waste that draft capital on him if you didn't think so. If that is the plan, then Bob, you talk about banking reps and getting better, practice by practice, situation by situation. You would think even if he's out there for 2 or 3 series that you would want Michael Penix to be able to do something and to show what he's got against different teams. Now, maybe he's so good in these joint practices. Maybe he's great in camp.
If he's that good, then play him.
That's what I mean. It doesn't make any sense why they are not playing him if he's indeed the quarterback of the future down there in Atlanta. I don't get it.
He's not going to get reps during the season.
No.
Because Kirk Cousins is playing now, unless you're kind of alluding to the fact that maybe he does play this year. But they said it's going to be Kirk's team.
You paid him however many millions of dollars, $50 million or whatever it was.
Well, and I get that. They didn't know that Michael Penix would be there and fall to him. And so you make those concessions before the draft. I understand it. But play your young guy, get him reps because he's not going to get any during the season, and he's not your starter, allegedly.
It's the same thing. I mean, I get with. It'd be like if Gerard Mayo came out and said, Jacoby Brissett is our starting quarterback. Now, Jacoby Brissett and Kirk Cousins a little bit different, but he's our starting quarterback. Drake May's already done enough in practice for him not to get reps. It's like that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The Bears are back, though.
Hey, yes, they are.
The folks in Pittsburgh getting a little antsy about their quarterback situation. Starter Russell Wilson played 5 series Saturday against the Bears, who are back, and he couldn't generate a point, picking up just 1 first down. Backup Justin Fields mustered.
He did get sacked 3 times, though,
He did
Shark.
get sacked 3 times.
It was the Bills. It wasn't the Bears. Bears were playing the Bengals.
That's right.
Yeah.
Backup Justin Fields mustered just a field goal in his 5 series of work, but Fields was 11 of 17 for 92 yards and added 42 rushing yards on 8 carries. Bobby, Coach Mike Tomlin might have to rethink his stance that Russ has the pole position.
Now, Danger Russ was out there. What was he, 8 of 10?
Yeah, but for just 47 or something.
I want to know how you complete 8 passes for 47 yards.
He got sacked 3 times, too.
Well, I guess the sack yards come off of that.
No, not the passing yards.
No, you're right.
In college football, they come off the rushing yards.
They come off your total passing number. Like, it's weird. It's bizarre how that works in the NFL. They don't come off individual passing, but they come off like team passing. It's kind of like the man for man. It just kind of disappears into the air. But I can't imagine with what I've seen from Russ. And believe me, Justin hasn't been great. But Justin's also in his 4th season and on his 3rd offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Russell's played 14 years, and he's not getting any better. He is what he is at this point. He's probably getting worse. So if you have any aspirations for postseason success and to find your quarterback potentially in the future, to see if Justin could be him, I think unless he just completely melts down, I think he'll be the guy.
So I watched a good chunk of this game with the Rustler and then with Justin in, and I mean, again, the offense is more exciting with Justin because he can do things with his legs that are mesmerizing. It was the bag of tricks for Justin. I mean, Bob evaded the pocket, got out of contain a little bit, got out to the side, was making some throws with his arms, making some plays, unbelievable plays with his legs. He did overshoot a receiver on what should have been a touchdown pass. So that was bad. Receiver maybe jumped a little bit early. If he ran in a straight line and didn't jump, I don't know exactly what happens. But he did miss an open receiver in the end zone. This offensive line, traditionally the Steelers, so good, so big, so physical. Like they're great, right? Like all the time. That's what you think. Defense and offensive line in Pittsburgh.
Give them a lot of sacks, man.
They're not very good. I know that the starters didn't play a whole lot on the offensive line, but I mean, we're talking about 10 series for what is a pretty hotly contested quarterback competition over in Pittsburgh. And really, neither of the guys looked like they were ready to be the starter come week 1. I don't know what's going on over there in Pittsburgh, but you'd have to think with the Steelers only paying $1 million to Russ this year, if that competition is even close, and if Justin can give you any more pop with his legs and be a little more consistent, that he is going to be the guy compared to the Rustler.
It's a war of words on social media for 2 of the fastest men in the world. Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill was not impressed with Noah Lyles winning the 100-meter gold medal at the Olympics. He announced that he would win a race against Lyles. Well, on Saturday, Lyles told Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson on a podcast that Tyreek is just chasing clout. And, quote, "I'm not talking about just talking on the internet. You'll see me on the track." Yesterday, Hill wrote on social media, "Sign the contract and lock in that 50-yard race." Beam, Hill was a two-time state track champion in high school and 17 months ago ran the 60-meter sprint in 6.7 seconds. I'm not sure he could beat Lyles.
I don't know. He's pretty quick. I mean, he won the 100 meters in Paris, even by a photo finish of, 2 1,000ths of a second.
He's a slow starter, though. Like, he's got better high end.
Well, that's why Tyreek, I don't feel like he wanted to do the 100. He said, let's do the 50 yards, whatever that equates to in meters, too, because Tyreek Hill's great at getting off the blocks.
Yeah, Emmanuel Acho put this out. It was to be good. Like, the indoor track and field, the shortest distance you have, the sprint is 60 meters. He's like, you're a 60-meter then. You know, it's a little bit longer than 50. It's a real event. It's not a gimmick. And let him go and see what happens. Now, Tyreek, you said he doesn't come out of the block, so he'd have to work on that. I'm sure he's running track in high school and in college. And so there's time there. But that would be fun to watch. The problem is you're not doing this during the season. The time for them to do this is probably
February
May.
and March, but he was getting ready for an Olympics, so he's not going to do that.
So even May, June, when there's just not nearly as much the volume of television, because then you could probably put it on TV, make some money on it.
Get a streaming service to buy the package for it.
Yeah.
Have a couple other things on there. It'd be good. Simple math will tell you, if you have 2 Heismans, then you also get 2 statues. We'll do that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, expect delays out in New Albany heading eastbound on 161 because of a crash just beyond Hamilton Road. We're also still watching a crash on the ramp from 70 eastbound to 71 northbound that has that ramp shut down. You can use 315 northbound to 670 eastbound to get back to those northbound lanes of 71. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hot under the collar? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix that fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Pain from arthritis can be just awful. That constant pain that's nagging. Listen, I've experienced it. I don't like it. It was in my knee, but it's feeling better now because it robs you of the stuff you want to do. But there's effective ways to deal with that pain, and my dad and I can both tell you about it. We're able to get lasting relief without medication or surgery. Listen, there's exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief, and the place that we went was QC Kinetics right here in Columbus. We went and saw Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC. They used their cutting-edge treatments to accelerate our own body's healing properties. His knee was bothering him. He couldn't walk around the way he wanted to. Him and my mom liked to take walks. He was able to go through their treatment protocol and feel so much better. I was able to get it on my knee, and I can move around again. It was the relief from that chronic pain that you don't really enjoy at all. So learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat your pain. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, or Grove City.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, special savings are too. Stop by while energy drinks are buy 2, get 1 free. Monster, Celsius, Red Bull, and more for less. Only with UDrive Plus at UDF.
Summer may be slowing down, but the deals at Vivid Seats haven't. Whether it's scoring MLB tickets for a night at the ballpark or locking down the biggest matchups for the upcoming football season, Vivid Seats has you covered. With the only rewards program in the game, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats has something for every fan. Catch the deals you want for the games you crave, all backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. The Guardians pitching staff gave up just 9 runs on 16 hits the entire series at Milwaukee, but Cleveland suffered a 3-game sweep because they scored just 4 runs on 13 hits. The Guardians scored in just 2 of their 27 innings against the Brewers, who won 2-0 yesterday. In Cincinnati, the Reds were swept by the Royals in their 3-game series. Kansas City outscored them 28-3 and out-hit them 41-18. Yesterday's final was 8-1. In golf, after blowing a 5-stroke lead on the back 9, Hideki Matsuyama birdied the 17th and 18th holes to win the St. Jude Championship by 2 strokes over Xander Schauffele and Victor Hovland. It was the first weekend of the FedEx Cup playoffs. The Sports Center is sponsored by the Waterworks. Trust the pros at the Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com to get started. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us. On a Monday, Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here at 7:35, Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program. Buckeyes breaking camp this week. Got classes starting. And then next week, Bob, we are right into game week, getting ready for the Akron Zips coming up here August 31st. So we are 12 days away from the Buckeye football season beginning. So
3:30 kick with Akron. That game to me screams noon. I wish it was at noon.
Who are you, Chops?
No, I
don't
just
like a 3:30 kick?
I don't like the 3:30 kick for Akron.
I am with you.
I don't like a 7:30 kick for Western Michigan either. Those are noon games. You know, you can put like the Iowa game, that's a 3:30 kick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Penn State, like those are traditionally big-time night games. You can put those there, but...
Well, those will be noon games.
I know, it's terrible. They've inverted it, so you have to wait longer to watch the worst stuff. Like, I'd rather get the crescendo with the big game at the end of the night.
I'm with you.
It's not how Fox does it, Beam. Speaking of this, we haven't done this in a while. We had our 4-year anniversary for the Juice on Saturday. We talked a little bit about it on Friday. Shark, where are we at on the day count of
the retirement calendar?
Yeah, of how many days left that we have.
Why don't we hit a re-rack and I'll look it up?
All right, that sounds pretty good. Let's do that.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
July 11th of 2025 is the day we're counting down to.
326.
Sharky. I mean, we're almost sub 300 in this thing. We've been sub a year for a little bit of time now.
I mean, you're inside that on Friday. It'll be 46 weeks, Shark. How about that?
And you know, if I take those last 2 weeks as vacation,
don't say it.
Then we're talking even less.
I mean, Shark, the fact that you're going to bail on us midway through the summer is atrocious.
Bob, my 16th birthday was July 11th, 1976. On July 12th, I got a job. So what is that, 40...
Did you get your union card and a wedding coat, too?
48 years I've been working. I'm allowed to retire.
It's been 84 years.
48.
Well, you want to make it to an even 48 years, you know? You don't want to stop right short on the end of the goal line.
I'm going to go to 49.
Do you have a job that you enjoy?
I like my job. I don't like the hours.
Is there something else you'd rather be doing?
Yeah, sleeping in.
For employment.
For employment, yeah, I'd like to be a professional baseball player.
What about a professional baseball manager?
There are no
GM?
64 professional baseball players, Shark.
Probably not.
I mean, Nolan Ryan got you as close as you were going to get. He was like 48, still throwing like 100 miles an hour.
How's that left arm feeling, Sharky? I mean, I know that Major League Baseball always...
What about...
I mean, we endear lefties.
What about a greeter at Walmart? You like noon to 5 kind of thing.
Noon to 5.
Maybe, what about like a bartender? What about a bartender at a brewery? That sounds pretty good.
That would cut into your pool time in the summer.
Yeah, sure
that's
would.
true, Bob. Maybe we better make it like
9 to 1.
Yeah, 9 to 1, 20-hour work week. What do you make at Walmart? $12 an hour?
Who knows?
What's minimum wage these days?
They make it up. $17. $20. I don't know. We've just
it doesn't pay a raise.
It doesn't matter what. Shark, I'll give you a nick. I'm going to give you a quarter. I'll give you a quarter.
I think you'd be a fine Walmart greeter.
I think so too.
I think you'd be all right.
Very friendly.
Do they shake hands with them? They don't touch the people.
No. That's against the rules. What about one of those people checking people in at Costco, like looking at your cards? That's kind of like a Walmart greeter.
They're annoying, though.
Oh, no, they're not. They're just doing their job.
They are doing their job, but come on. I've been in here 17 times over the last 2 months.
Recognize
you know
me.
My name. You don't need to see my identification.
It's just all part of the protocols. What's going on here?
I'm supporting you, right?
What do you mean?
By buying at your store, I am supporting the employees.
That's correct. You are right about that. So 300 and how many days you say? 320 what?
I forget already.
46 weeks on Friday.
Okay.
That feels pretty good, Sean.
How does it know that? How does it feel to know that you're going into your final football season as an employee of the world?
Great.
No, it's just your last year getting paid to watch football.
Yeah, think about that. Now you're going to pay to watch football.
Yeah,
for the rest of your life.
You know, I'm a conservative gambler, so my $5 bets during football season, I'm getting paid for those because I'm a winner.
Yeah, you're doing a good job at that.
You have worked more years than you have weeks left to work. Just
wow.
Put that in.
True.
Whoa.
Put that in your little noggin right there.
That just blew my mind.
Yeah. He said 46. He's been working for 48 years.
What was your first radio job, Shark?
WNCO in Ashland, Ohio.
What were you doing up there?
I did. I started doing weekends on the FM, country music disc jockey, and then on the AM, I called high school and college football and basketball games.
Did you ever want to get into play-by-play?
Yeah,
you did.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Play-by-play. I always wanted to go to Cleveland, of course. And then when after 2 years in Ashland, I came down here in 83. And as the years went by, I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to Cleveland. I had,
they say
by then I was married with family and liked Columbus.
Seasons change, the years will roll. Time and change.
My friendship,
there you go.
Ohio.
That's what happened, Shark. Eventually, your dreams changed, and you dreamed of one day producing the morning juice.
That's right.
As I watched
4 years on
Bobby Carpenter in 2002 to 2005, I thought, you know what? I'd like to work with that guy sometime.
As I watched Bobby Carpenter at the Sonny Younger as a formidable young child.
Drunk on stage.
Someday I want to work with that guy. Blowing out of an Elkhorn.
Pouring beers down an Elkhorn, which was amazing.
Oh, man, that was crazy.
Did I tell you yesterday, this is your boy to a T. So, bars on Grandview Ave, just south of Cafe.
Okay.
It's called Home Field. And it used to be Round 2. Before that, it was a Mexican place. But it's pretty sweet now. I do some pizzas, some burgers. I went in there, and a friend of mine runs it, and they want to make it hyper local sports, iconic moments of sports. They've got Nolan Ryan and what's his name? Not Lenny Dykstra. Who's the guy that he punched in the head? Shark.
Robin Ventura.
Ventura. They've got him up there. It's like the time Ventura took 6 hits off Nolan Ryan and 1 at bat. And it's like they've got all this stuff up there. They've got picture of Schlegs. They've got, Mike Tyson biting Holyfield. Mm-hmm. Just cool stuff. They got some stuff up there for me a little bit. And garage beers everywhere. But they have the picture of Schlegs prominently displayed, slamming the dude.
That's great.
And they're like, hey, could he come in and sign it? We want to do some more branding around it. Maybe have a cartoon of it for their pizza box. That would be the deal for their pizza.
That sounds pretty good.
It's awesome. And so I was trying to put this meeting together. It's like, hey, Schlegs, it's not far from the Armory. Why don't you stop by someday at 5 or 6 after work? You can grab a beer, talk, and make sure you're good. He's like, yeah, bro, absolutely. And I talked to him about it on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I meant to put these guys on a group text, connect them this week. And I just hadn't. Well, we went to Cafe after church for brunch. They got this great donut French toast. The kids love it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've only been there a couple of times. It's hard for me to get to Grandview. I know Mare works there, and then by the time she gets home, she didn't really want to go back. And
you can just meet her
there's no
down there.
There's no easy way to get over there.
Yeah, you got to cross over.
Yeah,
you got to cross 315.
You got to take Henderson down to Kenny, and then get into all that traffic down there.
If I were you, I would drive 3rd all the way to 5th and then cut across.
Okay, just take it that way.
Yeah, as long as it's not like a high traffic time.
Sometimes I'll just come like I'm coming into work and get off this exit right here at
you can just zip over. Yeah,
to do
you
that.
can just cut across through the yard. That's another good option. If 3:15 is bad, depending on time of day, though.
Yeah.
Or if you just like the energy of the city and like to drive through the neighborhoods, really feel the
Last time I was there, though, they have an unbelievable like chicken wrap. It's so good.
Oh yeah, I got they have my wife wanted the blackened chicken wrap.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they didn't have that for brunch. She was salty. I got their, they have a breakfast burrito, which is equally as good in my mind. But she doesn't like breakfast food, so that was her deal. She got the Hadley's burger, which she enjoyed. But I don't even know where. So we're over there, and I was like, I was driving up, and it made me just think, all right, I'm going to put these guys on a text. Let's get together. And then we were going to stop by Jenny's, grab some ice cream for a friend of ours who had parent pass away this weekend. So just a lot of stuff. We got done. We had to wait till it opened. Jenny's at noon. We got done eating about 11:40, so we're just kind of walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Then Slice gets back. He's like, how about 12:30?
Today?
I'm like, today? I'm like, why? I'm down here. And Court's like, yeah, I'm not waiting for that. And she's like, well, you can just wait for him and then have him give you a ride home. So I had to wait for another half hour. I was like, I'll go in here and have a beer or two and hang out and watch a little sports. And they came in, but then Slice comes in just in his freaking
sweaty
canvas pants, shirt on, just talking about lifting weights and being a meatball. It was so great. Standard operating procedures, how to run things. It is unreal. He could talk about the Armory for days and days and days. And I got home at 2:30 from church that we left for Shark at 8:40. Just hanging out.
It was a full day for you.
It was. I was like, I just want to go to the pool and relax and hang out. It's Sunday. I've got a couple things I've got to get done. I did some of them on Saturday, but yeah, I waited there and then for 2 hours listened to Schleggs talk a little bit about the stuff down there at home field and everything that's going to be going on and slamming dudes and whatever, fighting people and then playing ball, but then mostly Armory talk and Buckeye talk and standard operating procedure and he's amazing. He's just like he was. He'll be tomorrow. That you'll hear it when 6:30 and
6:35 and 8:05. Yeah, that's right. We're going to get a chance to talk to him a little bit later on. We're all looking forward to that. Bad weekend for baseball in the state of Ohio. Reds swept against the Royals.
Yeah,
outscored 28-3.
That doesn't really matter.
At the Jays tonight. I love it too. It's like playoff chances, they're still alive, and then you just get absolutely smoked. So outscored 28-3. They're at the Jays coming up tonight. Guards also swept in Milwaukee.
What? I thought we were going to get two.
I did too. They are in New York to take on the Yankees tomorrow, Sharky. How are we feeling coming off the weekend?
Not great, Beam. You talk about the Royals outscoring the Reds 28-3. The Guardians were outscored 9-4. You give up 9 runs in a series, you lose all 3. A couple of them.
Yeah. That was a 3-game set, too.
That was a 3-game set.
So you have 3 runs a game, and you can't get a win out of that?
The bullpen, the Cleveland bullpen this weekend pitched 9 innings, gave up no runs on 2 hits, and they lost all 3.
Oh, my God.
Bad. Can we get some offense? What's J-Ram doing?
He hit a homer on Friday, and I don't think he had another hit the whole weekend.
Okay, that's not good. We got to get him going, Shark.
That was a tough weekend for both baseball teams. Crew won. New York City FC won. The teams immediately went to penalties. The Crew won and advanced to the semifinals now of Leagues Cup against NYCFC. Won 4-3 on penalties. Semifinal against Philly at home coming up here on Wednesday. So a couple of games away from hoisting another trophy here. Preseason football, Vikings 27, Browns 12. They're at the Seahawks on Saturday, are the Brownies. And the Bears 27, Bengals 3. They're at home against the Colts for their preseason finale coming up here on Thursday. Archie Griffin, one of the greatest of all time in the college sports landscape. He's going to be honored at Ohio Stadium for this upcoming year and what seems for like the rest of eternity. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching delays on 161, both heading east and westbound right near Hamilton Road because of 2 separate crashes. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers, like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No. because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Check out the all-new John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram facility in Heath and experience the difference. We're your exclusive AgPack dealer, offering up to $30,000 in savings and benefits. And if you're tired of waiting at the dealership for service, take advantage of our service made simple with Carvenience or mobile service. Home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee and one of the largest selections in Central Ohio. John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererCDJR.com. We love what moves you.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Common Man and T-Bone.
She had cackle time with her friends at a restaurant.
Cackle time?
Oh, yeah. When they get together, it's like hyenas.
Okay.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Ohio's public schools are safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive. No exceptions. Thanks to the nearly 120,000 public school educators in the Ohio Education Association. We are dedicated professionals who deserve respect, a living wage, and a seat at the table when decisions are made. And we're using our united voice to demand the supports and resources our students need to succeed. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are a little soggy for some spots this morning. A few showers in the metro. Those move out as we head through the morning hours and into the early afternoon. Lots of sunshine to end the day. Temperatures in the 70s. Columbus topping out at 77. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beamer and Shark love baseball. Bobby wants to murder Rob Manfred with his bare hands. See? A little something for everyone. This is Morning Juice.
If you've been listening to the show for a while, you've heard us talk about FanDuel a lot. It's not just our preferred sportsbook of the Morning Juice. It is America's #1 sportsbook, folks. Well, we got something a little bit different for you, and this is pretty awesome. Got college football ramping up. Week 0 happening this week. Week 1 of college football starting next week. Shortly after that, Bob, the NFL is going to start. And now through September 22nd, that is a little over 1 month away from right now, all FanDuel customers, not just new FanDuel customers, all customers, you can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. I have it. I spend Sundays on the couch. I put a dent in my couch. You can watch Red Zone, watch whatever out-of-market game that you want. And then with a YouTube TV base plan, you're going to be able to watch every single regular season game Sunday afternoon, out-of-market games, all you want. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel at any time. It's the best value for me in sports. I love it.
You're not going to want to cancel it. You get that quad box beam, and that's the solution to watching.
You ever want to know what the transfer portal feels like? That's it. It's like Benedict Cumberbatch opening up the wizard portal.
Yeah, you watch 4-on-1. I've got 2 TVs going. I'll be watching 8 games.
Jeez.
So much there. It's so thick and frothy. It's great. So visit FanDuel.com/juice to download America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 and older in present Ohio. For full price of NFL Sunday Ticket will be automatically charged seasonally after free trial. No refunds. Terms and restrictions and embargoes apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So
always check out for those embargoes, Shark.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the embargo. When's the last time you've been embargoed?
It wasn't me. Shark was telling me, though, back in the 70s when he was living in Cuba, and he helped Fidel take control.
He couldn't export any of his funky cigars that he was rolling.
Trying to bring those missiles in, and Kennedy said no dice. So they put an embargo on them.
Said no, sir.
Put the little ships around them all. Kind of like what they're dealing with the King's Landing right now, Beam.
I saw this from Ross Bjork over the weekend, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Archie Griffin's first Heisman Trophy. It's pretty baller, too. First Heisman Trophy. Yeah, that's great. I see the Archie Griffin statue.
He flew all the way out. So there was a big deal. They did an event for that at Scioto Country Club to raise money for that, for Archie to get his stadium, because he's now out there with Chastain, Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, and him? Or is there one other person?
I think that's...
either he was the 4th or there was 4 and he was going to be 5. But it's kind of the who's who of folks in sports from the California area that have done some big things out there. So pretty impressive. And they invite us like, hey, if you want to come, we're having a luncheon, this and that. And I'm thinking, the thought of flying to California and I love Archie, for a trophy ceremony like that and then flying back, I'm exhausted thinking about what that would look like.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw Ross and Archie out there. I was like, oh, gosh, Ross has a million things going on. It's not like he went to spend the weekend there. He flew
in and out.
Probably Friday night, had a dinner, did some stuff, did the lunch on Saturday.
Back to Columbus.
Back on the plane on Columbus, getting in at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, and there was your Saturday. Spent a lot of it on a plane, half of it in California.
I did see it. It was really cool. So they unveiled that this past Saturday.
It looks sweet.
It does. It looks pretty awesome, man. It does look really good. I mean, you want to talk about like real life Archie looking statue. Like that's it. Remember a couple years ago when Cristiano Ronaldo had his statue?
It looked just
and
like him.
They had messed up the face. No, we got a better sculptor to do this one, man. It does look pretty sweet. And then Ross also said, and I didn't know that this was going to be the plan in place here, that they're going to unveil
statues.
They're going to unveil the Columbus version on August 30th. So the Friday night before Ohio State opens up the season with Akron, we're getting an Archie statue right outside of the rotunda on the north end of Ohio Stadium.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
That's going to be awesome. They've got the J.O. Memorial out there now. Get Archie Griffin statue. I mean, they said it was like Stargate, where if you go from one statue and there's a little deal and it'll open up like Cumberbatch and you can jump right in.
And transport to the other place?
Transport to the other statue.
Sounds pretty good. Pasadena and then to Columbus?
Yeah, I mean, it solves all your travel problems, layovers, jet lag. Don't have to worry about any of that stuff. One statue to another.
Jackie Robinson, Keith Jackson, Terry Donahue, and then Brandy Chastain.
I thought Muhammad Ali was out there. I'm just imagining, making it up. I got 2 of the 4.
It's pretty cool how Keith has one out there.
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly.
Does the statue talk to you? Is it like the Halloween thing, ghosts when you walk by? Like,
yeah, I think it is.
They jump out at you. You walk by and Keith, whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly.
I wonder if they could get one for Brett.
That is number 42, Bobby Carpenter.
There you go. Do you think that they could get one for Musburger when he passes away? And the sound that he makes is when they had, what's her name?
A.J. McCarron.
A.J. McCarron's girlfriend. Oh, look at that.
Would you look at that? Or if a late score happens, he just says, that may be important to some people. He was always acknowledging gambling lines before it was even cool.
You know, he did, the things you find online, and it's great. And I got a chance to see, I played in Troy Smith's golf outing on Monday, and then getting a chance, someone tweeted this out, I saw it. There was the last Shark 6 minutes of the 2005 Michigan game. That's like 6:20 or whatever. It's when we are down 10 to 12. I don't know what the score. It was 19.
Down 9.
Yeah, we were down 19 to 10. And it's Troy's touchdown, a little skinny post kind of dig. San Antonio dives in the end zone. They throw a flag on it for whatever reason. But then it's basically the last drive of him putting that thing together with about 3 minutes and change. And listening to Gary Danielson and Musburger on the call, and I'm like, and I never really thought of it at the time. And then as I got older, someone told me, and you can tell the energy of which he's calling the game on where he probably has his interests lying, if you will, Beam. And I'm like, he definitely bet on the Buckeyes that day. Because he was like, and I don't know if you remember, Shark, there's a play right before Gonzo's catch.
Is that the one where Gonzo climbs the ladder?
Yeah. And it's Troy has a couple of remarkable scrambles, but he throws one to Santonio on like an out, and the DB kind of undercuts it. He's about at the 30, and Santonio turns and he slips. But if he does not slip, he's running at least 20 yards, if not all the way to the end zone. Mm-hmm. Musburger was like, he almost had that one. Lucky slip right there. And he's like, because if he didn't slip, he was gone all the way. Like it was remarkable. Just
what
going through.
What's he doing now? Is Musburger? Is he still doing Raiders stuff?
No,
he's not.
They retired from that.
They retired him.
So he's just doing like the VSiN Sports Network out in Vegas. And is that he's still living and like doing gambling stuff?
Yeah, they retired him. Long may he reign, Beam. It was good.
God, I loved Musburger.
I'm gonna have to have Shark pull that up. It's so good.
The Musburger call of all that?
Oh yeah, it's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I retweeted it the other day, and I just watching it. I wanted to show my kids how good. Like, I've showed them the final play where Troy scrambles David Harris. I was like, this guy played 10 years in the NFL. Really good player. Troy eludes him, throws that ball to Gonzo, which is unreal. Yeah, it's like 2.5 minutes, Shark. I'm going to send it over to us in the group chat. We can play it right off there. It should be good because it was national TV, so there shouldn't be any swearing involved.
I don't think that Brent was getting a little crazy with that.
Yeah, but it was so great. Now my kids watch it and like, that's really good. I'm like, yeah, no doubt it's really good. It's the best 6 minutes I've ever seen Ohio State quarterback play.
Yeah, it's pretty electrifying. I remember at that point, what you said was 2005?
Yeah.
So I was 13 years old. We were at a buddy's house watching it with a buddy who I grew up with.
Buddy the Elf?
No, not Buddy the Elf. Just one of my buddies. John was his name. We were over at John's, I think, brother's house or maybe brother's
Is this guy
friend's house.
Sweatpants in the strip club guy?
No, that's Mike. That's a different Mike. Although it was actually John's pants, like painter pants that we tried to wear, like the sweatpants that were all covered in paint.
He's going to wear his buddy's sweatpants.
Yeah, because he had shorts on, wasn't allowed, went to the car, got like dirty painter pants out of his trunk, and then tried to go back in, and security guard goes, "You're an absolute freak, man. Get out of here." So then we went back and played Mario Kart like all night until our buddies got back from the club, from Diamonds. Well, AJ knows a lot about that. I just remember being at that game, and as far as, 10, 15, 20 people there watching a game, I don't think I've ever heard a close quarters be as loud as in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
People were just going absolutely nuts. So we'll do that a little bit later on here in the program. For now, Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join us. We'll preview the final non-game week of the Ohio State offseason with him next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching major delays on 161 heading both east and westbound because of two separate crashes. This is out in the New Albany area, right near Hamilton Road. Expect to be slow moving in both directions. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Men, you already know that as we age, low testosterone can cause many issues, including decreased energy, bad sleep, a lower sex drive, and more. And if you're like most men, getting treated for low T can truly change your life. But it's also important where you get treated, because your health matters, and a quality medical practice that has true expertise in men's sexual health can help you get the best outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in treating low T and other men's sexual health issues in the area. And if you're feeling like I just described and haven't yet sought treatment, or if you're not satisfied with the treatment you're currently receiving, I'd invite you to call us. At Tri-State Men's Health, our expertise is men's sexual health. It's all we do. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T, and we offer a true 5-star experience that is like no other. If you're like most men, you'll be astounded at our service and at the results of our treatments. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, fan favorites are too. Score a set of 6 Cincinnati Reds player cups for $19.99. Ellie, Green, India, Steer, Diaz, and McLean cups only at UDF while supplies last.
That's the sound of sweat falling drip by miserable drip. But don't sweat that broken AC. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Team has same-day service. Call the Waterworks at 614-333-9720 or schedule service on our website.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
We don't talk politics on the Fan. We'd rather talk about things that unite us, like the exciting Buckeye season ahead and pizza. How about the rebirth of the Jackets and pizza? Your home of the Buckeyes, Jackets, pizza, and no politics. The Fan.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. My dad and I can both tell you we were able to get relief without medication or surgery. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. The place to go, QC Kinetics, right here in Columbus, Ohio. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics utilize cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility. Surgery and pain pills, they're not the only option. My dad and I went there. We feel so much better. He's able to move around and walk like he wants to. I'm able to go out and run and do the things that I enjoy. So here's the great thing. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, and Grove City.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Here's Long here, little Monday edition of the program. Brandon B. and Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now, we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our good friend at Buckeye Huddle. He is Tony Gerdeman. Gerd, thanks so much for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, Jim Knowles having media availability last Thursday. Obviously, big topic of conversation. Starting quarterback is Will Howard. What other than Will Howard being the starting quarterback did you take away most, Gerd, from talking to those three gentlemen?
That's a good question. And I'm currently writing a notebook piece on the punter, but we don't have to go there just yet. I think there was some concern about receiver depth behind the top three. And when we talked to Ryan Day the first day of camp, after the first day of camp, he was saying, need to find somebody 4 through 7, need to know who those guys are. And then talking to him on this past Thursday, he seemed to be a lot more confident. Certainly he's seeing more. I think Brandon Ennis has solidified himself in that number 4. 5 through 7, 5 through 8, I think is still a work in progress. But this is the most positive anything we've heard about Kojo Antwi of late. And Mylan Graham, the true freshman, continues to come on, graded out a champion in the first scrimmage, and is looking more and more like a playmaker. It's just coming in June, you don't expect necessarily too much of him right away. I think ideally for him, the best hope would be like a Chris Olave 2018, where you just keep coming on more and more as the season progresses.
That's not a bad career arc. If you start with Chris Olave, and if you can end like him, that would be tremendous as well. Any surprise, Gertz, for the captains for you with Jack Sawyer, Cody Simon, Trey, Avion Henderson, and Emeka Ibuka?
No, not really. I think it's always you wonder, is it going to be 6? Is it going to be 7? Is it going to be 3? How many are there going to be? But with those guys, you got 4 seniors, so I think that makes sense, 2 on each side. It is interesting that Travion Henderson is kind of seen as a more of a quiet guy, but clearly he's not quiet behind the scenes. And Emeka Ibuka as well, that guy's almost been overlooked based on the attention that everybody else is getting. Or some of these guys are so established that you don't even necessarily talk about them much. We're talking about the new guys and the shiny things, where Emeka Ibuka is on pace. If he has a season like he did as a sophomore, is going to leave Ohio State as the all-time leading receiver in yards and catches and everything. So I think you've got 4 guys that everybody trusts, and maybe most especially the coaches trust.
He is Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, let's get to the Will Howard talk. Name the starting quarterback. Does that alleviate any stress moving forward? I know Ohio State's breaking camp this week. They got classes starting a little bit later on, Gerd, and then we're thrust into straight-in game week. So does that alleviate, any stress for them, just knowing now who is going to get the lion's share of the reps here in these waning days of camp?
Yeah, I think it alleviates a lot of things. The questions, looking for answers, they've got their answer. Everybody kind of knows their role. Players know who to look to, and Devin Brown knows what he needs to still do. And the messaging that came out when they were given that, the news was Cardale Jones, Max Duggan. I thought that was interesting that Ryan Day brought that up. Max Duggan started as the backup at TCU in 2022, and I wrote about it this weekend. But everybody knows who Max Duggan is. Nobody knows who Chandler Morris is, and Chandler Morris was the guy that TCU named to start the 2022 season, and he got hurt in the first game, and the rest is kind of history there. So I think everybody knows their role, and everybody can start to embrace those and build on them. But once you've got your starting quarterback, everything else starts to fall in place as well. And sounds like the offensive line is rounding into shape as well. So if you can get that entire unit going, but just having that leader, that quarterback, sounds like Will Howard's been leading anyway, but now he's kind of got that label, and everybody knows where to look.
As you looked at this camp coming in, you obviously had a lot of questions. Any unresolved questions for you as they're getting ready to break camp, or do you feel like everything's pretty good from quarterback to O-line, receiver, wherever else you may have looked as well?
Well, and it's really first world problems. I mentioned punter, but Jim Knowles is talking about safety depth behind the starters. So like the number 2 safeties, you're talking about the number 2 defensive tackles and how deep can they go there. And I think tight end is still a question mark in terms of what that rotation is and what it looks like, and the funky virus that Ryan Day has talked about that has really just ravaged the offensive line, has slowed them down in terms of finding the number 3 tackle. Like, who is that third guy? I think they feel pretty good about who that third guard is, whether it's the non-winner of the Tegra Shabola Carson Hinsman battle, and the second center being some combination of Luke Montgomery or perhaps Carson Hinsman. So I think they feel pretty good about that stuff, but just not having the offensive line settled because of that illness. that started before camp, and I think they've tried to. It might be done now, but guys are still trying to catch up from it. Carson Hinsman's still trying to catch up from what he went through.
I know there were more questions about the offense than the defense, Gerd, but the one thing that we've been looking at in particular defensively has been the linebackers, whether it was going to be a C.J. Hicks or Sonny Styles. When we see them run out on the field August 31st against Akron, how do you envision those guys either splitting time or that rotation looking like between those two backers?
Yeah, I think it's Sonny's that's going to be starting. And when we talked to them a couple weeks ago, C.J. Hicks said it doesn't matter who's starting. They'll just, when one guy gets tired, the other guy goes in. I still want to see what their plans are for C.J. Hicks because I think they feel comfortable with Sonny Styles out there on any down. But do they feel comfortable with C.J. Hicks out there on any down? And so I'm interested to see how that materializes because C.J. Hicks they talk about his pass rushing, so maybe you bring in C.J. Hicks on a passing down, but also Sonny Styles' coverage ability. Why would you take him off the field in a passing down? And then I asked Jim Knowles on Thursday, are either of those guys to the point where he likes the will to be able to play the mic to be able to play the will? Are those two guys to that point yet? He said they haven't really done much of that in camp because those two guys also play Sam, and you don't want to overload them with too much, especially since they're still both trying to master the will position. So I'm interested to see how those two operate together. They will play together with a 3-linebacker set, but I'm expecting Sonny Styles to be the starter, and then they'll try to find some plays for C.J. Hicks. And honestly, they should be able to find it. They should be able to find a ton of them the first 3 or 4 games.
You would think. I mean, it's a pretty good situation there. They should be able to get some of the young guys in there too. They've been outside of Jeremiah Smith, J.J. Smith, because obviously I think everyone knows he's going to be the starter and a big-time player. Any other young guys that you've been hearing about at camp that you think could be making a push to get on the field?
Yeah, I'm kind of fascinated to see what happens with Jalen McClain, the true freshman safety, who was one of the top 2 backups. And I keep wondering, Malik Hartford started a couple of games as a true freshman safety last year, played free safety. I'm kind of wondering if Jalen McClain can move Malik Hartford over to strong safety, and those are your top 2 backups. James Peoples, the freshman running back, is probably the number 3 running back, so he's going to play. I just wonder how often we'll see him even in the first half of games, because I don't expect you're going to see much of Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins in the fourth quarter of blowouts. You wouldn't expect that. So there's a role for him there. I think we'll get to see some linebackers on special teams, Peyton Pierce and Garrett Stover, to get a glimpse, kind of like we did with Arvell Reese last year. Mm-hmm. And frankly, C.J. Hicks as a true freshman, like both of those guys played on special teams, and they didn't play a snap of defense as true freshmen, and you might see the same thing with those guys, but you'll still get an opportunity to see them. And, maybe like Aaron Scott, cornerback, being another guy. They're pretty deep at corner, but again, they're going to be playing a lot of guys early in the season, as you said. And we saw what happened with Jermaine Matthews. You give him a little bit of you give him an inch, and he took a mile last year, and maybe Aaron Scott can do the same thing this year.
Build up that confidence in what is expected to be a great sophomore year for Jermaine. Gerd, always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning. Enjoy your last non-footballing week of the season, and we'll check it again soon, all right?
All right. Talk to you guys later. See ya.
There he goes. Tony Gerdeman, Buckeye Huddle, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
I know it's warm outside, but winter, it's going to be on the horizon. I know it's not cool. You don't want to talk about it, but for a lot of us, though, last winter was rough. The heating bills were high, and our homes were freezing. Summer, the homes may have been warm, and the electric bills may have been high as well, and we did nothing about it. So go see my friends at Pella Windows, the window that you, Columbus, voted the leading and most trusted. They're giving us a reason to think and talk about winter right now with a very legitimate offer. They've got 0% financing for 60 months or 50% off qualifying installations. Good now through the end of August. So make sure you get it done here in the next couple of weeks. The local Pella team, they're phenomenal. So go check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
Got a lot to be juiced about coming off the weekend. We do that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching delays on I-70 westbound just beyond Kelton Avenue because of a crash that has the right lane blocked. Also the right lane blocked off on the ramp from 670 eastbound to 270 northbound. And then over in the New Albany area, major delays going both east and westbound because of 2 separate crashes near Hamilton Road. I'm 10 TD's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Right now at the Ram, make this the summer event. Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for $549 a month for 42 months with $3,640 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by September 3rd, 2024.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off. That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here for my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
Do you feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way in 12 days. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Need inspiration? Everyone, fuel restrictions apply.
Check out this great deal on giant-sized Kellogg's cereal. Select varieties are on sale now, 3 for $10 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because when you trade in, you're dealing with a dealer. And sure, they're interested in a good deal. For them, not for you. Come to WeBuyAnyCar.com instead. All we do is buy cars. You get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price. So don't take chances with a trade-in. Go to WeBuyAnyCar.com for a free online valuation. Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are a little soggy this morning. A couple isolated showers out there. We're going to clear those out and give way to some sunshine by midday with temperatures climbing quickly. Your high 77 today. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them online at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bob, big Monday, buddy. Last week of the off season before we get into a Buckeye game week. What's got you fired up today?
Oh, goodness. Great weekend. Got to have dinner with my man AJ and Laura on Friday night over at Old Hyde Park. It was good time. Always love catching up with him. It's funny getting all this memorabilia stuff. People want things signed. Someone dropped off one of the old cereal boxes. They're like, hey, we're moving. Don't know what to do. Reached out through the station. Yeah, bring it in. So they needed some stuff at Ohio State. So I was like, all right. So I carried that into Hyde Park with me.
Nice.
Set it beside my AJ. Can you sign this for me? I'm giving it over. They got someone to give it to at the Woody. Carried that over. Had Schleggs get it yesterday.
They already have it. They have one of the boxes.
Well,
in
I brought
sweet
that
recruiting.
in. Oh, yeah. I brought that one in, too. They need more, Beam. They need more
stuff.
More gear for more folks. Okay, and that's what we're all about. But and getting a chance to see both those guys in a weekend got me juiced in a big way. As we're going to start football season here now. AJ is going to Dublin, so I don't know if he'll be with us next week.
Okay.
Or this week.
Going to the week 0 game.
Yeah, so he's heading over there for that. Pretty excited for him. It's going to be a fun time with McAfee, so get all that stuff planned out. Very juiced up about football being here,
Yeah.
I mean, it's week 0. You have to get excited about that.
NFL preseason games. I'm watching Daniel Jones throw absolute dimes against the Texans.
Probably after this at the 8 o'clock, 8:05, we'll listen to that little clip of Danielson and Musburger from the 05 Michigan game. And then I've got this little nugget here of Ricky Gervais. I don't even remember what it is, Shark.
It was something you said, that it's not all about me. And even though I'm in pain, it's worth sticking around to maybe make my little corner of the world a slightly better place.
That's all there is. Happiness is amazing. It's so amazing it doesn't matter if it's yours or not. There's that lovely thing. A society grows great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in. Good people do things for other people. That's it, the end.
And that was Ricky Gervais's mom. And stumbled on that Beam, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday. Pretty good stuff there, understanding happiness is best when it's shared, bud.
Yep.
Push it out there, get it rolling around. How's our guy Schleggs, who loves to share some happiness, Shark?
Sometimes it's okay to pump the brakes. It's okay to get off the caffeine. 2 doses of pre-workout, a Monster, and some coffee is probably enough to get you through your day.
That was in the early days of Morning Juice when Anthony Schlegel was on here every day with us. I celebrated the 4th anniversary of Morning Juice on Saturday by going to the pool and thinking about Bobby and Beamer and Schleggs and my favorite Morning Juice guest, Albert Breer. And anyway.
How much are you going to miss him in a year?
I will. I'll tune into Albert every Thursday at 8:05. I'll get out of my retirement silo and listen to Albert.
Well, hey, the good news is that you're buddies with him now, so you can text him what's going on with the Browns. He'll respond to you immediately.
Phone number, Beam. Yeah, I can just chat with him. Heck, forget texting. I'll just call him up in the middle of the night. Anyway, couple weeks left for the swimming pool. Labor Day is 2 weeks from today, and then we close for another year. Saturday, not only was it Morning Juice's 4th anniversary, it was my son Mark and his bride Rory, their 11th wedding anniversary. Nice. So they went to Barcelona for dinner, and I got to, I don't want to say babysit because Beamer's mother-in-law doesn't like that word. I got to grandparent my grandson Charlie, 2.5 years old. We watched golf. We watched the Browns game. We watched the Guardians game. I just feel like it's really important to shape them at 2.5 years old to fall in love with those Cleveland teams, and then they can learn how to be good losers.
It's an invaluable life lesson.
It is. I learned at a very early age how to be a good loser. I pouted a lot during my youth. And into adulthood, for that matter. But also juiced, I forgot to mention this. Bobby watched Crazy Stupid Love over the weekend, and I just want to know what you thought about the twist and turn that was teacher Marissa Tomei.
Oh gosh, that was tremendous. When they opened the door, I was like, "Oh no, this is not going to be good." And then
I forgot about that.
That's great when they go in for the parent-teacher conferences. Yeah. I'm not sure which is better, that or when the mom is cleaning out the bedroom and finds the envelope with the pictures.
That's really amazing.
The babysitter took for Steve Carell. I mean,
Beam, what has you juiced?
That movie, I should probably go back and watch that movie.
I need to.
It's been a couple of years since I've watched that. It was a good weekend over at the house. Willie had a full weekend, got to hang out with his Manchester United friends on Friday. That was good. They kicked off the season, so we did that on Friday. Got to see Mayor's mom on Saturday. She came up, was spending some time. Mayor's cousin is doing some sort of like residency thing. She's over at Ohio State Hospital doing some dermatology stuff. She's a med student, so it's good to see her. She's in town here, I think, until the end of the week, and then she goes back to St. Louis to finish up that med degree. Good to see her. Got to see my dad and my stepmom as well. They came down. We all hung out at Parsons together, Parsons North Brewery on Saturday afternoon. So that was fun. He got to see a lot of family. And then yesterday was fun. I mean, I feel like he just got new toys all weekend, William did. We got him a Little Tikes like basketball hoop. So he was, putting the basketball into the basket last night. And
put the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah, new word. Swish. He likes saying that. So that was fun.
Or onomatopoeia?
Swish. Yeah, onomatopoeia for sure. But I think it is a word as well. So he was doing that. And then we got him a balance bike. He is not using it correctly. He's just standing over top of it and like picking it up off the ground and like walking with it. I'm like, you'll get there. Don't you worry about that. But we got him that. He was playing at the water table yesterday as well. So it was a pretty solid weekend. Oh, yeah.
Like bird bath.
Theo drinking out of it. Willie drinking cups out of it. I mean, together, those two are in cahoots with everybody. So really, really solid weekend. I think the foot's healing up pretty good too, Bob. It doesn't hurt that bad either. So just trying to keep that thing under wraps as much as I possibly can. Poached foot. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. So the good news is that Mayor's cousin is, again, a medical student, and Mayor's mom was a nurse. So they're both like, let us get a look at it. And so I unwrapped it. They're like, all right, it looks pretty good. They're like, it looks pretty solid. Just make sure you keep that thing under wraps. So, yeah, that sucks. But other than that, we're doing great.
Did you ask which is worse, getting your foot burned by boiling water or losing the noodles that were going to be part of the dish?
I think if you asked Meredith and Willie Boy, they would say the noodles. For me, probably the foot, but I was also a little upset that we didn't have a good dinner. We had to substitute our pasta with red lentil pasta, which is terrible. It's no good. Give me my carbs, man. Look at me. So all that's got me fired off coming off of a pretty awesome weekend. We're going to hop into the Buckeye Time Machine coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching delays on the ramp from 670 eastbound to 270 northbound because of a crash. Also delays on 161 out in New Albany going both east and westbound near Hamilton Road. And right now all lanes are shut down on 33 eastbound right at US 36 due to a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33, or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
Riker. We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. The Crew and Philadelphia Union were scheduled to play an MLS match this Saturday, but because they're meeting Wednesday in the League's Cup semifinals in Columbus, and then that tournament's final and third place matches on Sunday, their MLS game has been moved to next Wednesday in Philadelphia. It was a lost weekend for both the Reds and Guardians. Coming off a 3-game sweep of the Cardinals, Cincinnati was swept in a 3-game series by Kansas City. Yesterday's score was 8-1. Cincy falls to 4th place in the National League Central. In the American League Central, Cleveland's lead over second place Minnesota is down to 2 games. The Guardians managed just 4 runs on 13 hits the entire series at Milwaukee, falling yesterday 2-0 when they managed just 2 hits. The Sports Center is sponsored by Roosters. They're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to Oregon, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
Beamer is tweeting about Formula One.
Oh, hells yes.
Bobby is tweeting Rick Springfield concert video. Both are a cry for help.
This is one twisted mother.
This is Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Monday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here in about 35 minutes or so, Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program as he does every single Monday. And coming up tomorrow, near the same exact time, Schlegs is going to reappear on the wraparound because you get to listen to him live at 6:35, and then we always play Schlegs at 8:05. So coming up 24 hours away from right now, Schlegs is going to join the program.
That'll be tremendous. It'll be a good one. Be very, very entertaining.
Oh, of course it will, man. Football season's right here, right around the corner. He's going to be all pumped up.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Sharky mentioned in the update, it was awful. Reds and Guardians went 0-6 over the weekend. Reds outscored by the Royals 28-3. So you get a little bit of life, you come off the big sweep of the Cards, and then boom, swept right again against the Royals. Again, 28-3 total in that series at the Jays tonight. Guards outscored 9-4 in their series, also swept in Milwaukee. Now they have an off day today. They're in New York against the Yankees tomorrow. I don't know how you should feel about that one, Sharky. I thought you were good against good teams. That one's no good. Bullpen did anything you possibly could. Only gave up 9 runs through 3 games, but you guys lost all 3 of them.
The good news was Minnesota had a 4-0 lead against Texas yesterday, late in the game, and the Rangers came back to win in extra innings because I thought it was going to be a 1-game lead in the American League Central. So it's still 2 games. Okay. When we get swept by the Yankees, and if Minnesota takes 2 out of 3, then, you know, you're tied going into the weekend.
I thought we do the best against the best teams.
Yeah, well, we used to. The first place Milwaukee Brewers ate up the Tribe this weekend, and the Yankees are also in first place. So I don't know. I'm not optimistic.
We got 30-some games left.
It's amazing. I think 39. It's amazing. Who would have ever guessed that the American League Central, with all those small market teams, would have the best division in baseball?
Yeah.
You've got 3 teams that are going to the playoffs, and the Tigers are pretty good team.
3 games under 500.
Yeah, the large market team, Chicago, is 65 games under 500.
That's awful. I just looked at their record, 30-95. It's pretty impressive. They are currently 42.5 games back out of the division. So they got that going for them, which is nice. So not great baseball over the weekend here in the great state of Ohio. Crew won, New York City FC won 90 minutes. They go straight to penalty kicks, Bob. And in penalty kicks, right in front of the Nordeck, the Crew go marching on to the semifinals. 4-3 winners on penalties. DeJuan Jones, your new addition from New England, who you just traded for a couple of weeks ago, he gets the penalty to see you through. Semifinal against Philly coming up at Lower.com Field on Wednesday. So they got that to look forward to. Dumb trophy, dumb cup. These guys seem to be very excited about it, though, so that's great. I hope that they fulfill all of their wildest dreams in winning this, as the Crew are in trophy hoarding mode at the minute. So Philly on Wednesday. Sharky, you mentioned as well, a little bit weirdness on the schedule. So they had Philly coming up on Saturday back in the league, back in MLS. Since they are playing Philly on Wednesday in Leagues Cup, that game will be moved to next Wednesday in Philly. So a little addendum to the Crew schedule right there. Preseason football over the weekend. Vikings 27, Browns 12 at the Seahawks on Saturday. Sharky, you were watching this. I was watching it a little bit. I had my eye on it. We were down at Parsons North, like I said. Then we got back, and I was kind of keeping an eye on just to see what was going on.
That was Mayor's mom.
She was great. I mean, she was crushing IPAs at the brewery, came back. We got some pizza. She decided it'd be a good idea to have some red wine, then finish the night with an old-fashioned. So she was in great shape. And then she said afterwards, she goes, give me the baby monitor. I'll wake up with William in the morning. Meredith and I both looked like, go get the charger for it right now. Perfect. Here you go. You can sleep with that thing, and we'll sleep pretty peacefully. So I got up around like 8 on yesterday morning. Slept awesome. Slept like a baby. And went downstairs. I said, how's William? What time do you get up? 6:30. I said, oh, nice. About classic. That's pretty vintage. Yeah. I said, how you feeling? She goes, I'm terrible. I don't feel great at all. I'm like, you'll be all right.
I mean, some of them may have been her choices in beverage throughout the night, starting off with some IPAs, the wine transition, then finishing the night off with some Spirit Shark. I've never found that to be the way to go. And here's why, Beam. People always say, well, it's how you drink it that impacts your body. We used to have a saying when I was younger. Beer before liquor, always sicker. Yeah. Liquor before beer, have no fear.
Yeah, you're in the clear.
You're in the clear either way. And I said, it has nothing to do with the type of it is. The problem is it's the pace of which you drink it. Because when you're drinking beers or even like wine, the alcohol content is significantly lower, so you're going to drink those at a much more rapid pace.
Unless you're drinking IPAs that are like 7.5%.
Yeah, then that's another piece. But those are like drinking 2 beers basically at once.
Yeah.
So the pace at which you drink it is going to be quick. And so you build up that pace. And the problem is if you pivot to a hard alcohol or spirit later in the night. It always
seems like a great idea at the time.
It does. But you drink that at the same pace also. And that's meant to be like sipped a little bit more.
That should take like an hour to get down.
Yeah. Like this has the same alcohol content of like 3 or 4 beers, but yet you drank it in the same time that you would have drank one.
Mm-hmm.
That, and therein lies the problem, sir. And so for Mary's mom, like, good for Kels. I mean, I'm sure she was having a great time.
Oh, she was having the best time.
I love it. She's living her best life.
She really is.
That morning, it comes early.
Especially with Willie. Yeah. That's what he does in the crib when he wakes up in the morning. He doesn't cry anymore like when he gets up, because if he does cry, it means something's gone horribly wrong.
That's what the kids
he's pooped his pants and it's running up himself, or that he's not feeling great. Every morning, Bobby gets up. Yeah.
Hey, the kids are like, hey. And they start yelling in the monitor. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey. You just wait till you hear that first.
Oh no.
The first
that's gonna be terrible.
And you'll be like, no cry. And then you hear like the little running all around.
That's usually what gets me up on the weekend. So Mare usually gets up with him. She lets me sleep in a little bit, which is terrific. And that's usually what I hear, other than him like yelling and screaming. It's the fervent pitter patter of his feet, because he doesn't walk anywhere. No. It's always a trot. Like it's always a trot. It's a run.
Imagine if the first time you ever were able to run. Imagine if you were in a wheelchair, Beam, and then one day magic.
Like Forrest Gump, and you get those leg braces off. What does he want to do?
Just want to run.
Take off out of there.
He's going to run everywhere.
Of course he is, man. So that was good. A solid little weekend. How'd the Brownies look, Shark? I mean, 27-12 preseason. I know you're not taking away anything from this.
Bad. They looked bad.
Okay.
Jameis and Deshaun didn't play, but still.
Jameis. He is a miracle of evolution.
You'd like to have some depth, and it shows to me that they don't.
Well, and they have
Their
injuries.
Second team is bad. The 3 more offensive tackles were injured. Yeah, it was ugly.
Bengals 3, Bears 27. They get the Colts coming up at home on Thursday. So I don't even know when we started talking about it, why we started talking about it. But this was the 2005 Ohio State-Michigan game, correct?
Yeah, I don't know how we stumbled into this, but leadership, best games ever.
Oh, it was Keith Jackson has a statue next to Archie at the Rose Bowl. Archie's going to have another statue unveiled August 30th at the Horseshoe under the Rotunda, and we were talking about Keith Jackson. Then you mentioned
Brent Musburger. Yeah, and so Brent and him and Gary Danielson are on this call from 2005. And honestly, it's probably the best 6 minutes of game time that I've witnessed play in a critical moments from an Ohio State quarterback. Here it is from 2005.
Crable standing up. Middle. Holmes has got a touchdown, Buckeyes.
He's running the same play that was overthrown before. This time a perfect throw. Splits the defenders, and you can see it. Behringer closing on him right there.
Second down, need 10. Smith tries to spin away, fires, got it. Into Ginn's hands. Here's Smith, steps up, Ginn's got it, one-handed catch. Holmes falling out of bounds with a first down at the 47-yard line. Can win a share of the title at least and go to the BCS Bowl. Got Holmes, couldn't split him, hanging on's Mason.
First blitz in a while.
Smith into the teeth of his Holmes and down at the 30. It's a good thing he went down. Branch is in the middle. First down and 10. The offensive line has done a great job. Smith dances away from trouble. On the run, caught by Gonzalez inside the 5-yard line. Gonzalez may have made the biggest catch of the year for the Buckeyes. 26 yards, and Anthony Gonzalez does it.
After Houdini got out of the pocket, he looked downfield. Gonzalez went deep on Grant Mason, and you could see it. Caught the ball down there. Ohio State only has one timeout, so Michigan takes the timeout here as they get it. Watch Houdini. Watch Houdini right here. The pocket collapses on him. He bounces inside. He wants to run. It gets collapsed with David Harris, number 45, so he bounces back outside, and the worst fear of the Michigan Wolverines, a scrambling quarterback makes the play and delivers a perfect throw.
Here's Pittman, banging touchdown. He's got time. We'll take the sideline. He's got to get out of bounds. Cannot. The clock is running, and the final seconds.
Yep.
The Buckeyes are going home with the W. Jim Tressel is 4-1 against Lloyd Carr, who goes across to congratulate him. The Buckeyes led again.
It was amazing. The end of the game was kind of anticlimactic, Beam, because it would have been, the quarterback. He was in Miami. Chad Henne. He throws it to the side for about 8 yards. There's 8 seconds left. Michigan doesn't have any timeouts. And the tight end, I believe, is the one who caught it, cuts back in towards the field of play.
What are you doing?
They're what are you doing, bud? It's it. That's game over. We're just standing there they couldn't get up to snap it. There was 2-1. And
game over.
Yeah. And it was pretty remarkable.
That throw and catch by Troy Smith to Anthony Gonzalez. I mean, you and I were watching it during the break before we came back on here and did this. One, for Troy to get out of the pocket and evade the pressure was remarkable. The throw was unbelievable. The fact that Gonzo has to jump, he almost stops his motion. Because the ball, it's a little bit behind him. It's still a terrific throw and terrific play. He has to stop his motion and, jump vertically after running at, 18, 19 miles per hour, however fast he's cruising down the field.
It should have been pass interference. I mean, he stopped to go get it. The corner's riding him all the way down. It's just one of the great plays. So hopefully we'll see some plays like that this year, Shark, out of Will Howard and the crew, and some epic, hopefully not comebacks, just some great plays and big scores.
Speaking of the Buckeyes, they have their captains for the upcoming season. We'll tell you about them next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
A good Monday morning to you. Still watching a major crash out in Marysville on 33 heading eastbound. We've got some lane closures in both directions right near 36. Also on 161 out in New Albany. Very slow moving traffic going both east and westbound because of two separate crashes near Hamilton Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Need inspiration for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, USDA Choice Boneless Beef Chuck Roast is on sale for only $4.99 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Kemba Financial Credit Union pays you to save. Get a $300 bonus with a new money market account and earn a premium interest rate on your money. It adds up to big-time savings for your goals and dreams. Visit Kemba.org to check our rates and learn more. Restrictions apply. Bonus requires Advantage status and $10,000 minimum balance be deposited in the first 30 days and maintained to qualify for a $100 bonus at 90 days and $200 at 180 days after opening. Federally insured by NCUA. Offer ends September 30th.
Hey guys, Chaps here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50 plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather. But the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Chopper, summer's almost over. That's the point, guys. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 60 pounds. Then that propelled me to lose another 35. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20, then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said groove. You'll be saying it too just a few weeks from now. 20 pounds summer slim down with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
We don't talk about politics on The Fan. Instead, we welcome Buckeyes fans, NFL fans, and anyone looking to escape the never-ending cycle of misery. You're safe here, friends. The Fan, home of the Buckeyes and Ohio's politics-free destination.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's complete sleep event. Don't miss dreamy offers on sleep essentials.
I've tried counting sheep, but keep losing track.
We've got you. IKEA family members save 15% off your purchase of $300 or more on select sleep comfort items. Plus, we're throwing a pajama party in-store on August 31st. Wear your favorite PJs for a free breakfast.
Ooh, we have matching PJs.
Don't wait. Go to IKEA-USA.com/bettersleep or visit your local store today. Offer valid August 7th through September 10th. U.S. only. See store and IKEA-USA.com for full details and eligible items. Restrictions apply.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. If you're ready to tackle any adventure, check out these unbeatable offers from Germain Toyota. Get behind the wheel of a rugged Toyota Tundra with 0% financing for 60 months. Yeah, that's right, 0%. Or if you're looking for something a bit more compact but just as awesome, lease the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for just $329 a month for 36 months. These deals are rolling out so fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are a little soggy for some spots this morning. A few showers in the metro. Those move out as we head through the morning hours and into the early afternoon. Lots of sunshine to end the day. Temperatures in the 70s. Columbus topping out at 77. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hey, good news for you. You can not only listen to the stream on the app or on the website, you can now watch us on the stream on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, type in 97.1 The Fan. Click our channel, and all of our shows will appear live. That's right. You can now watch us and interact on the YouTube chat as well. Phil says, I think I was like 10 when that game happened. Pure nostalgia. Yeah, I was watching that video in the break. That seems like, to me, Bob, like the golden era, golden generation of college football. Because I think you revere it more like when you're a kid,
yes,
right? And you're watching it. And it's not to say that...
How old would you have been then? 10, 11?
I'd have been 13. If that was in 2005, I was 13
that's kind of the sweet spot when you're old enough to understand it and appreciate it, but everything still seems so grandiose and fantastic.
Totally.
That time between probably like 9, 10, and like 14, 15.
Yep.
Because you get into high school, like it gets a little bit different, but that time there, like everything seems like it's the best. That was always the pinnacle. And I look back at who I was watching then, and, it's a lot of Fickle and Galloway, Jermaine, Vrabes, Eddie George, like Pace. I mean, those seem larger than life. And then as I got into high school, like you get through it and I'm getting recruited and starting to see the players around, like you start comparing yourself to them, at least how good they are. Could you do this? Could you do that? But when you're 10, 11, 12, like those things aren't even real because they're just so much better.
Remember we went to, my stepdad's a big Notre Dame fan, so we went to Notre Dame Stadium to watch a game, and I had to be younger than 13 at the time, Bob. I don't know. I was probably 9 or 10 when I first went to Notre Dame Stadium. And I just remember, how cool it was. And, they do the player walk kind of like they do at Ohio State. They're coming in. And I just remember looking at those guys, and they had beards and, all kinds of different stuff. I'm like, wow, those are grown men. And then I just remember my stepdad saying, wow, don't they look young? I'm like, no, not to me that they don't.
Yeah.
Like those dudes look like NFL players coming out of that room. And then you're right, you get a little bit older. It's like, man, congrats to those guys for having an unbelievable career. But yeah, anytime I hear like Musburger on a call like that, I just get transformed back to playing a game like Saturday morning, in the Pee Wee department, and then going home afterwards, taking a shower, going to someone's house, having a cookout, throwing the football around the yard, listening to Keels on the radio. Like that's where my mind like immediately goes back when one of those videos pops up, or like Musburger, you hear him on a call. Like I immediately get transformed back into that.
Oh yeah, I mean those are the iconic voices of your youth. I mean, there's so much nostalgia that comes with that, and the emotions that it elicits. It's all right there. That's how when you hear games being commentated. I mean, that is the call. That is the sound that permeates your thoughts and mind.
And then you get Brent Musburger and is it Dan Fouts?
Dan Fouts.
Dan Fouts on the call for Bobby Boucher's legendary run at the
Bourbon Bowl.
Yeah, you remember when Bobby Boucher came back at halftime? The Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Last game of the year. Brent can't hold anything back now.
It's a great one.
It's great stuff. Congrats to the Buckeye captains this year. Blocko jersey recipient for this upcoming year, that would be Cody Simon. The Blocko jersey was created in memory of Bill Willis, College Pro Football Hall of Famer. Number 99's retired up there in the Horseshoe. If you get a chance to go to a game this year, look at it. You can see it right there at Ohio Stadium. One of the first two players to break the professional color barrier for the Browns in 1946, alongside fellow Hall of Famer Marion Motley. The jersey awarded annually is given to the team leader and embodies Willis's toughness, accountability, and highest of character. Cody Simon was announced this weekend that he was going to be the receiver of that. Other receivers, the Blocko jersey. Now, this is a new tradition that Ryan Day started because the NCAA in 2020 announced that players could wear the number 0. Jonathan Cooper, Thayer Munford, Cam Babb, Xavier Johnson. Those are your 4 other guys now that Cody Simon joins as being a Blocko recipient, which is really a terrific honor.
It is. I mean, it's honor Bill Willis, who was a tremendous player at Ohio State. All-American. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, NFL Hall of Famer.
And college football Hall of Famer.
And college football Hall of Famer. Tremendous player. First black player really in the NFL to start, and a consequence, tremendous. Paul Brown brought him up there. And so he was 99. And so when they opened up the 0, Ryan's thing was like, well, the 0 looks like a lot like a block O. And from 0 to 99, like that's what we need. And so that's where they kind of brought in the Bill Willis and the 0, the block O, and everything that embodies that. But couldn't be happier for Cody. Jack Sawyer, super pumped. Trey and Emeka, phenomenal guys. And I looked at this. Anytime there's captains, because I wasn't a captain at Ohio State, neither was Schlags. And, Will Howard, I asked my kids, I came back after practice, they voted on captains. Who do you think they were? First answer, Will Howard, quarterback. I'm like, well, he wasn't. He transferred in, and he was in kind of a starting quarterback battle.
Yeah.
So it's tough to kind of take the full leadership then of it. And my son's like, JT with curly hair. I'm like, no, he didn't get it either. I'm like, another defensive end. They're like, okay, Jack. And they said Trey, I think, early on was one of their second or third guesses. But it was interesting because, I thought Lathan Ransom would have a good chance of becoming a captain. Thought Donovan Jackson would have a good chance of becoming a captain, and JT. All three of those guys, I think, could be captains with what they've done here in their careers, how they conduct themselves, effort they put in, the quality of their play, and their some of them are, vocal guys, but I'm not a big believer in the 7, 8, 9 captain. I'm usually the 3, 4.
There a year back in Buckeye history where we had 8 or 9 of them.
Urban would just make everybody who was a leader captain. I'm like, and your teammates vote on it, and that's okay. It's not a knock on it.
Yeah, last year there were 3: Xavier, Tommy, and Cade.
Sometimes you have 3, 4. I could see an occasional year with a 5, but this is a heavily senior-laden team, and the vote is the vote. It kind of breaks out. Usually where there's maybe 3 and then a drop, maybe 4 and then a drop. Sometimes you have 5 that are clustered. But Ryan made a good point of telling these guys, just because you're not a captain does not mean you are not a leader of this team. And I remember, when I didn't get voted captain, I was kind of, everybody, it's a little bit of a pride shot. It stings a little bit. And I remember looking, it was Nate Sally, A.J. Hawk, Nick Mangold, and Rob Sims. And it's all those guys were very worthy. They're very deserving. It's tough to have 2 guys from one position group just because, voting-wise, it's hard to get those things. Nick and Rob are both offensive linemen, but that kind of represented the totality of the offense. And we had 8 or 9 senior starters on defense. And so just Will, you're still a leader. You're going to be the guy that's commanding the huddle. Lathan, you're still the guy that's calling the back end of the defense out. You're going to be someone that people are going to turn to. And so you need to make sure that you understand that and embrace that as well. And everybody brings something different to the table with their personalities and what they bring and how they interact with and who they interact with, all those different things. So there's a lot more there. And it's a huge honor for those guys. And I'm incredibly excited about it. And especially Cody Simon, who came here and, was grinding his way to this point. And maybe not having quite the success early on that he envisioned, but I think it all works out in the end if you do what you're supposed to do on a daily basis. But happy for those guys, but understanding that some of the other guys who probably could have been in that circle in a normal year were not because of all the veterans that they have on this team and all the leaders that they have that came back, and that's okay.
Go watch the videos that Ohio State, the football Twitter account or Facebook account or whatever social media. Go watch that because they have their position coaches call the parents and tell them that they are a captain at Ohio State. Go spend 10, 15 minutes, whether you're at work, whether you're at home, and go seek those out because it is really great. So big congrats to those 4 guys. Big congrats to Cody Simon for the Block O recipient coming up this year.
Well, pool season's still here, but it's winding down. It's time to go see my folks at Affinity Whole Health. If you've been putting it off all summer, they're the leaders in the testosterone hormone replacement therapy. But they're not just here to optimize your testosterone levels. They can handle weight loss as well. That's right. Affinity, they can help you lose weight and alleviate the symptoms that come with low testosterone. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to testosterone treatments. So you can say goodbye to low energy, low libido, hello to weight loss and muscle gain. Get feeling like the best version of yourself so you can go shirtless wherever and get ready to rock, or just get in great shape for this fall and into the holiday season. Don't give up on 2024 yet. Go check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Our great friend Joshua Perry, he's going to pop by. We'll recap Ohio State captains, talk some Buckeye camp with him next. Morning Juice right here in the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, still watching delays on 33 heading both east and westbound. We've got some lane closures over there because of a crash. Crews are working to clear up right now. Also watching major delays out in New Albany on 161, going both east and westbound because of two separate crashes. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan traffic.
Wendy's new Saucy Nugs come in 7 saucy flavors. Yep, you can literally hear your taste buds going. Taste bud sounds may vary. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
This week at Meijer, buy 5 or more and save $5 or more on hundreds of items across the store. Shop items like Pepperidge Farm buns, Johnsonville smoked brats, Breyer's ice cream, and select Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable. Plus, shop hot deals on California red seedless grapes for $1.29 per pound, certified Angus beef T-bone steak for $9.99 per pound, and Meijer chips 3 for $5. Shop great prices and limited deals this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in store or in the Meijer app.
Moolah, greenbacks dough, Skrilla chips, bread and mo. 2, 5, 10, and 20, 30 big ones, games aplenty. Cheddar, butter, loot and scratch, find the letters, make the match, cause there's many words for cash, no doubt, many ways to play cash word. Check 'em out. Cash word from Ohio Lottery. It's game time, yo. Cash word, it's fun to go with millions in prizes, don't you know? Lottery players are subject to Ohio law and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off. That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee, then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. All for $6, all just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's Long here, Huddle Monday edition of the program. Brandon V, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. This time tomorrow, Uncle Bo, he's going to join us as he does every single Tuesday. We'll talk some Browns, what's going on up in Cleveland with him. As for now, we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our good friend. He is Joshua Perry. JP, happy Monday, buddy. Always appreciate the time. Captains announced yesterday for Ohio State, Blocko recipient as well. Cody Simon, Jack Sawyer, Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson. As a former captain, Joshua, Bob was just telling us, that he wasn't voted captain in his team. I mean, I know that it's a great honor to be bestowed upon.
It's a fantastic honor, first off. It's the way that your peers recognize you, and it's the hours of work that you put in through multiple years in the program. And these are all veteran guys who have contributed in many ways. Kind of Cody is the interesting one for me because we've heard so much about him, and once you get to know him, you understand the type of leader that he is, how much leadership is important to him, and the role that he can play for this team. But the idea that he's a captain with the Block O, I think, is huge because he's the program guy. He's a guy who's taking the long road, expecting to see big performance out of him this year, but has kind of flown under the radar the last handful of seasons compared to some of the other guys who are captains or would have been in that conversation for this team. But it's the way that your teammates recognize you, and it's the way they select you to let you know that you are one of the people who is committed to the program in a way that not everybody can. And to see this group in particular, a guy like Travion, who's kind of been through it all, Mecca last year, trying to play through injury, didn't have the season he wanted. Like, those guys embody what it means to really be a part of the program, so I'm excited to see it.
Any surprise on guys who weren't named captain, Joshua?
Lathan was a guy who I felt like was going to be in that conversation. And then I was curious to see where Denzel Burke would fit into the equation there. Part of the thing for me with him is his story and his journey, kind of the ups and downs. And he's a real honest guy, too. Like, I don't know how vocal he is. I don't get to see them as much as I would like to out at practice or out at workouts the way that you do, Bobby. But certainly when he's saying something, it's the truth. And I think that there's a value to that within the locker room. So maybe a little bit of a surprise there. The other thing that I do like is the idea that there aren't like 14 captains like we've seen in past years too. I like it as a smaller group.
Doesn't that make it, not that it's invaluable ever when you're announced as a captain at Ohio State, but a few years ago, JP, to your point, feel like it was like 7, 8, 9 guys that we crept up to.
Yeah, you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Like, there have to be certain voices that are the voices that you listen to when it comes to, leadership decisions, and when coach has to kind of go to guys to get the pulse of the team. If you have to poll, 7 or 8 different guys versus the 4 guys you trust the most, it becomes a little bit more difficult to get everybody going in the same direction. So I think this idea that you have kind of 4 dudes, veteran guys who have been there, who have created the buy-in and the trust among their teammates, and that's the group that you're rolling with. I love.
What's that like? First days out of camp, starting school again, just kind of what this week looks like.
Man, it is crazy when you get out of camp, and especially once you get back on campus for classes, you're looking around and you're like, oh my gosh, there are other humans that actually exist. Like, there are things that you can do that don't involve like cutting tape off of your ankles after practice. It's amazing. But now it comes time to really build your routine. And Coach Meyer was fanatical about this, but he said every great player has a routine, and it starts with, what you do during game week to get your body right. So, Mondays on game week when we were playing, we had Mondays off. A lot of guys were in the facility. You get to work on your body, get a little bit of a lift in, sit in the training room, go watch some tape, get the early look at the game plan. Then you get into Tuesday. How are you going to manage that? Classes, making it into the Woody on time so you can get ready for practice all up through the week. And I think this is where guys get to practice at before you actually do have a game. You've got some time where you figure out your schedule, but ultimately it's something you got to get a hold of fairly quickly, because if you're still trying to figure out what your routine looks like in week 3 of the season, you ain't going to figure it out.
He is Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. How hard is that for kind of freshmen to overcome, JP? I mean, you think most of these guys now get here, in the winter, they go through winter workouts, they go through spring ball, so they've already been in class, but now figuring it out during an actual game week in the season, I mean, what's that adjustment like for these young fellas?
I don't think they ever figure it out in year one, right? Like it's a tough thing to get situated, and it's every component of it. When I became an older player, I figured out that I didn't like lifting on Sundays after the game. I like to get my lifting on Monday because Sunday we were going out on the practice field anyway. And so basically I was getting movement every day of the week, doing it like that. As a young player, you probably don't have that option, but you don't know what your body likes from that standpoint anyway. Making sure you communicate with your professors when you have road games, if you're a part of the travel squad as a freshman. Communication really happens kind of in the background, but I think it's important to let them know that you're fully engaged and that you're not going to be there and what can I do and all those different things just to make sure everybody's on the same page. As a freshman, you're probably not having those conversations. It's like the small things that really make your life easy when it comes to being in season. Those guys are figuring it all out as they go, and veteran guys and coaches try to tell them. Nobody listens, and so it's a learning curve, but I think you got to go through it. I think freshman year kind of has to be difficult so you can know down the line.
Yeah, it's you mentioned that routine, Joshua, everything that they've got going on right now. Without a big game in that non-conference slate, you talk about Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall. Does it make it easier or harder to kind of get focused up and get ready to go for the season?
That's a toughie for me. I think it's a good thing to have that challenge early on. I look at 14 where we did have that and it didn't work to our benefit. We ended up losing. And so it's a double-edged sword. I think for this team, it's going to be good to have a nice ramp up at the beginning of the year just with, having a new quarterback who's certainly a veteran guy, but new to the program. I think you kind of work out some of the game day things against a team that you're heavily favored against. I think that's a good thing. And then you got to be prepared once it's time to start playing conference opponents and the schedule ramps up. You got to be prepared to just go full in on that. There's no easing your way into the conference schedule. And so that's the thing that I liked about having the big game early on is you get the pads really popping and you kind of get the urgency there early in the year to get everybody's mind right. But I think for this team, it certainly sets up just from that standpoint, a little bit of the offensive line, making sure that those guys are all comfortable out there and rotation you like there up front. I think that they can appreciate having that slower ramp-up period.
Joshua, I know we were mentioning schedules and being freshmen and college and everything. What's your schedule looking like here? I know we're in week 0. What's your schedule looking like for week 1? Are you going up to Ann Arbor, Fresno State, or are you guys in studio?
I will be in studio all year, which is it's a little bit unfortunate. I like being out on location last year. Just having the energy of the stadiums that we were in was phenomenal, but we're splitting up our show. Actually, it's going to be a pretty cool setup. So we're going to have a main crew that's going to be in studio, and we'll be doing coverage for all the games that we have on Peacock and NBC up through the primetime game. And then we're going to have a reporter and a couple of analysts that are going to be out on the road. And you'll see our analysts at different games throughout the day, too. So, if we've got a big Notre Dame matchup, for example, and then we've got a Big Ten game in primetime, we'll kind of split those guys up. If we've got something cool going on the West Coast, something cool going on the East Coast, we'll split some of the analysts up there so we can get a little bit of flavor from out there. So different than last year, certainly. Very excited for it. And week 1 will be here in no time. I can't wait.
How's your prep going for that? You doing your homework?
I am. I had my notepad out the other night. I was watching all my tape and getting the reports that are coming in. The issue for me is the printer situation. I like to have physical copies, but I don't want to waste paper and ink. And so I'm trying to figure out right now what the flow is for me. And maybe I gotta use somebody else's printer and waste their money. But as I get that figured out, I think I'm gonna get into my flow. But been watching tape, been taking notes, ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely, buddy. Always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for hopping on with us here this morning. We will check in for game week number 1 next Monday, if that's cool with you.
Man, time has flown. Summer's over. Football is here. I'm super excited.
See you, buddy. Have a great week.
Take care.
There he goes, Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Going to reveal our fan poll coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching delays out in New Albany because of 2 separate crashes from earlier this morning. Expect delays as you're heading on 161, heading westbound just beyond Hamilton Road because of a crash. Also watching delays near the Dublin area on 33, heading westbound just beyond that 270 split. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your fan traffic.
Marty Gerdeman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated, but I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Hi, this is Justin Hinderer. Come see us at John Hinderer Ford in Washington Courthouse for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in Fayette County. We're all in on America and proud to be your Ford AgPack dealer. Don't forget to ask about our convenience and mobile service at the home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee, including engine, transmission, rear differential, and drive shaft on all qualifying vehicles. John Hinderer Ford, just off 62 at Washington Courthouse, or hindererford.net. We love what moves you.
There's nothing like having Common Man and T-Bone resting on your bosom.
Well, for someone with no breasts, you've done very well for yourself.
Gross. Pick up the latest T-shirt in the Fan store or pick up merch from a show you actually like. We even have Ohio State and jacket stuff. Head to 971thefan.com.
Bobby Carpenter was determined to get relief for his dad, Rob. Years of college and pro football had taken a toll on Rob's joints. Bobby trusted his dad's care to QC Kinetics and their game-changing regenerative pain treatments.
It's been great to watch him improve. This stuff wasn't available 20 years ago, and how we've been able to kind of hone in and be able to fix the body in a more natural way as opposed to just cutting on it all the time. It's pretty terrific.
QC Kinetics. They take your body's own healing properties, concentrate them, and apply to areas in pain like knees, shoulders, hips, and back. And the results?
He's like, well, it doesn't hurt to go down the stairs anymore. I'm like, well, that's the positive.
Relief without any joint replacements, harmful steroids, or medications. The natural way at QC Kinetics. Don't wait. Call to see if you're a good candidate. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 380-208-4544. Get rid of your joint pain with QC Kinetics.
Hear that? The soothing sounds of a bubble bath. And if you were here, you'd smell a single cedar leaf candle. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get back on the road and enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. And then take a shower, because it's fast, like your motorcycle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance may require comprehensive coverage. Not available in all states.
It was the clues these victims left behind that led police to their killers.
How I Caught My Killer. The true crime phenomenon returns.
We lifted that floorboard up. Lo and behold, a trench.
With 10 all-new episodes.
Because of the screenshots he left behind, he was a hero.
It's like she was calling out to us from the grave.
I couldn't believe it.
We were shocked.
I see this. He just recorded his own murder.
We got a serial killer off the street.
How I Caught My Killer. Now streaming only on Hulu.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are a little soggy this morning. A couple isolated showers out there. We're going to clear those out and give way to some sunshine by midday with temperatures climbing quickly. Your high 77 today. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Wrapping things up here, Monday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, and we here on the Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Healthy, leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Bo and the boys are going to be up after we're done talking about some Buckeye captains. They will also check in with their Monday friend, who you can hear every Monday at 10:33 with them, Austin Ward. You can also hear Austin on with us every every Friday morning at 7:33. He's all over the place, that guy.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Beam. Stay locked in for Buckeye coverage all week. Albert Breer at 8:05 on Thursdays.
How about that? Got that going for us, which is nice. He was terrific last week, too. I mean, I know that he's terrific, and we have him on for a reason, and he's a good Buckeye, and he likes to be on in Columbus, but we were talking about the contract situations involving Brandon Ayuk and then involving CeeDee Lamb and involving Jamar Chase, and his talking about all three of those different scenarios and how they differentiate was really, I mean, terrific stuff from one of the best NFL reporters that you're going to find.
Oh, yeah, he's as tied in as anybody, man. Albert knows his stuff.
Absolutely, he is. What do you got planned for today? A little Monday. It's supposed to be cooler than what it's been over the last couple of weeks. Think we're going to reach like 79 maybe. And then tomorrow, Bob, it's like a 73, and Wednesday's like a 71. Football's in the air.
Getting close to fall, starting to chill down a little bit. I got some football practice tonight. We've got Buckeyes have their last morning practice today.
Okay.
Go do pod with Austin and Berm and those guys, and then
really just pick up Shark's wings.
Yeah, you get the wings for Shark.
How's
Shark,
the garlic? How's the garlic been treating you, Sharky? I know you made the switch a couple weeks ago.
Love the garlic. Love the change up.
There you go. So
thank you.
Garlic again, correct?
Sure.
All right, we'll get you the garlic flappers, and then at 12:30, Schlegs and I are going to do our show that we do, a little pod that we're going to do daily at 12:30. So
okay,
yeah,
is that live? Is that going to be a live thing?
I'll be live on YouTube.
Boy, do you guys have a dump button?
No, we do not. So it's be live on YouTube and Twitter, and then I'll air Bally's in the evening. So
okay,
yeah, we'll get that going here today.
You get to talk to him twice today because we're talking to him right after the show.
I talked to him yesterday for 2.5 hours.
Nothing more to talk about.
I need to take a shower afterwards. Like, you're so sweaty. There's so much intensity.
Did he come in that meeting full sweat?
He looked like he came in right off a tractor.
Nice.
Or lifting weights while on a tractor. I mean, he's remarkable. He dropped Hunter off at the airport, starts talking about baseball, and then that molded into lifting, and then just running the armory and standard operating procedures.
What does that even mean?
Everything that he does is the best. That's what it means.
We'll get a chance to talk to him tomorrow at 6:35. It's going to be great, as always. And again, if you miss him in the 6 o'clock hour, you can always re-listen at 8:05 when we replay him. But we also have a podcast. Just go to any of your podcasting platforms, type in Morning Juice, and poof, all of a sudden, all of our episodes will come right to your inbox feed.
Like David Copperfield.
Have you watched much NFL preseason so far?
I haven't watched any Hard Knocks. I got to get in on that.
There's a scene in the first Hard Knocks, and you were out last week. I about had a freaking meltdown on Tuesday night, so I almost am done with streaming. I almost had to go back to cable. So you're supposed to, Bob,
full circle.
You're supposed to
get that Elon Musk internet from the satellite.
Shoot it up in the sky. I was talking to Mike Bennett the other day, and he goes, "You know what my $1 billion idea is?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Internet any place." And I said, "I think Elon Musk already has that with Starlink." He goes, "Well, now I'm going to have to think of a different $1 billion enterprise." I said, "Yeah, he's already got that. That's already a thing."
What if there was a thing, Beam, where you could just take a picture and just
upload it People could comment. You could create your own little mini.
Called Exchangeogram.
Exchangeogram. You have to put it on the line.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was watching Hard Knocks, and it's supposed to air, and I've had no problem with this before. And I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't watch House of the Dragon live time.
Yeah, you watch it on the stream time.
Yeah, but at 9 o'clock.
I watch it live. I watch it live, but I stream it through Max.
Right. So that's what I mean. Like Sundays at 9 o'clock, if Thrones or House of the Dragon comes on, like that's always there right at 9 o'clock. Like you see the app reset and then, the new stuff gets loaded. And so on Tuesday evening, Tuesday's Hard Knocks Day, right? Like I'm pumped. I'm watching this. It's the Bears. They're back. So I'm saying to myself, I'm like, all right, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, boom, right at like 9 o'clock, 9:01. I turn it on. Said resume watching episode 1. I said, well, where's episode 2? Let me watch the second episode. They didn't upload it until 10:20 at night. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Mare was excited about it because she hates Hard Knocks and she hates that the Bears are on Hard Knocks this year. And so there's a scene though in the first episode with some Canadian fella, Bob, that you will very much enjoy.
You're gonna want that True Coat?
Yeah, it's if you watch it today, if you watch it tomorrow at some point, we're going to need a full breakdown of what this Canadian offensive lineman does when they're in the not rookie meetings, but all the rookies are having to put on like the talent show, right? Like they're having to sing or do magic or whatever you do to
do magic. I don't think the rookies do the magic. They usually have a magician come in for that.
The wonderful Mr. Oz or whatever. Oz the mastermind. Whatever he
call the brain rapist.
Yeah.
Burt Wonderstone.
Burt Wonderstone. That's a great movie. He just drug everybody at the end.
It's a great nickname. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what?
Just drug everybody at the end and transport them to a different place. That's terrific. But there is a scene which you'll very much enjoy from this Canadian fella. So I can't wait to hear about that. But yeah, it's good. It's been good so far. Matt Eberflus has no juice to him. None.
You know who I really liked Hard Knocks this year? If it would have been the Steelers with that whole mess of a quarterback situation.
Oh, Tomlin would have given him nothing.
Yeah, but you would still get to watch and interview those guys, and I could hear Mr. Unlimited talk.
Come on, guys.
His delusional world of where he is.
Good job, Justin.
Justin and I, we're just best friends, man. We're just best. I'm cheering for him. We're just
cheering for each other. Before we get out of here today, it's actually the topic of our fan poll, which you created today, Bob, at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. I never did anything
for you, Beam.
Oh, you did a lot. And you did for Shark, because Shark was pestering me up until about 8:30 when we got this bad boy put up there. Who will start more games for the Steelers this season? Justin Fields or Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson. Who are the other options? Did you get a Neil?
Ben Roethlisberger.
And Neil O'Donnell.
Neil O'Donnell.
Perfect.
Out of those four guys, who will start the most games? I wanted
you to put some guys like that in there. Shark wouldn't do it.
Bradshaw.
Shark wants to take this way. Cordell Stewart.
Yeah.
He wants to take this way. Tommy Maddox. I mean, I don't care. You could have picked whoever you wanted.
Did Charlie Batch play for the Steelers?
He did for like 13.
Absolutely.
He was there for a long time.
Who was your starter last year with the small hands?
Kenny Pickett.
Thank you.
He's in Philly now. It's because he had small hands. He couldn't throw the football in Pittsburgh.
I had to look up where your boy Maserati Mitch is.
He's back in Buffalo.
He is. I saw that.
Back in Buffalo.
Tomorrow's his birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mitch. Day early. Unless the double doink never happened. He wins the Super Bowl that year. Maybe an MVP. Then we're living in an alternate reality. Bob, I had so much fun.
Next Rex Grossman.
Hey, Rex got him to a Super Bowl. Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we reconvene tomorrow morning if they allow us? You good with that?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Everybody have a fantastic day. Uncle Bo and the boys next. We're back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now watching delays out in Dublin because of a crash on 33 heading westbound right near Avery Murfield Drive. Also still watching delays in New Albany heading westbound because of a crash right near Hamilton Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
8 of the last 9 years, the national championship team in college football had single-digit odds in the preseason to win it all. 2017, Alabama was the last team in college football to be the preseason betting favorite and then go on to win it all. Currently, 4 teams have single-digit odds to win the national championship this year, including Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. but she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here from my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Dive into the Marvel Universe on the official Marvel Podcast. We're going behind the scenes with the creators behind Marvel Comics, the stars of the MCU, and Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige.
But if you want the real answer, if we're trying to get real on this podcast,
celebrate the legacy of your favorite Marvel adventures and characters. The official Marvel Podcast.
I think this show's going to be a real treat.
New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
It would be the best story, not only in tennis, but maybe in sports.
We were just two young black girls playing in Compton. This is not normally how that story goes. I looked different. I played different. I was more emotional. I was better. I was stronger. I had muscles. I was something that no one had ever seen before, ever.
Stream the ESPN Plus original series, In the Arena, Serena Williams, presented by Morgan Stanley, now on ESPN Plus.